Welcome to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Chapter 611 Black Fog. Bang! Above the black and white Dao Palace, the immortal prison that contained endless sealing power was easily shattered. With the shattering of the immortal prison, the entire Dao Palace seemed to be torn apart. The Dao Palace was constantly turbulent, and huge black mists appeared under the black and white Dao Palace. It seemed that something terrifying was about to drill out from the ground. All the geniuses of the surrounding academies were looking at the broken immortal prison in the sky with their heads buzzing. The scene in front of them was beyond their cognition. Their immortal prison that could seal everything and suppress the strongest was actually shattered. Is this true? Many people rubbed their eyes, as if they couldn't believe it all. Xia Qingqing behind Chen Luo also felt a little bit of astonishment. She knew that Chen Luo was powerful, but she didn't expect Chen Luo to be so cruel that he could easily shatter the immortal prison that was famous in the chiming immortal realm. It was really terrifying. However, thinking that this kind of strong man was the one she liked, Xia Qingqing unconsciously felt more secure in her heart. It's you who made the wrong decision. Chen Luo then looked expressionlessly at Bai Yuchen, who was in great fear not far away. Were we wrong? No, our Dao Palace will not be wrong, our Dao Palace will never be wrong, our Dao Palace will never be wrong. Don't think that you can be lawless after destroying the immortal prison, I tell you, our Dao Palace. Bai Yuchen roared loudly like a madman. However, before he finished speaking, the Mother Qi cauldron of all things on Chen Luo's head released an extremely powerful and violent impact again. This violent impact quickly covered Bai Yuchen's body with a lightning speed. Are we really wrong? At the last moment, Bai Yuchen felt bitter in his heart and murmured in a low voice. Bang! With a violent collision and painful wails, Bai Yuchen was completely torn into pieces of flesh and blood by this violent impact. Countless original forces and pieces of flesh and blood rippled around, like a blooming flesh and blood firework, making the people around completely fall into deathly silence, their eyes dull, their bodies stiff. The Mother Qi cauldron of all things is the top fairy king weapon. It has been nurtured in Chen Luo's body for a long time, and contains a terrifying and unparalleled power to destroy everything. It is simply not something that Bai Yuchen, the fairy king of the eighth heaven, can stop. The palace master is dead. He destroyed the fairy prison and killed the palace master. My God, who is this person, why is he so terrifying, and killed our palace master so easily? It's over, our palace master was killed, and the Dao Palace is going to change. After a moment of deathly silence, the many Taoist palace geniuses around were completely boiling, whispering, with deep fear and trembling on their faces. They didn't expect that just because of a spiritual road trial, the palace master of the black and white Dao Palace would fall. It was too unexpected. Chen Luo ignored the discussions of many academy geniuses around him. After all, he was just an immortal king of the eighth heaven. After he made his own choice, his fate was doomed. Chen Luo's eyes were attracted by the black fog under the Dao Palace. Not only was there black fog under the ground, a large amount of black fog also appeared in the broken immortal prison. Muffled roars and sharp cries continued to be heard from these black fogs. He, after being imprisoned for so many years, I finally came out. Everything I lost, I must take back. At this time, a low and hoarse voice sounded from the fog of the immortal prison. Chapter 612 Desire. The moment this voice sounded, all the Taoist geniuses around them felt a coldness seeping into their bone marrow, as if something was directly freezing the depths of their souls. Boom! Then, the roaring continued to intensify, and a moment later, a man covered in ferocious magic patterns emerged from the mist. The magic patterns on this man's body were extremely terrifying, exuding a cold and dark aura. On top of his head, there were countless black flames. The black flames seemed to completely melt everything around him. Name: Xian Yuan Mu. Realm: Immortal King 9 Heavens. Identity: in the Scarlet Bright Immortal Realm, the leader of the Demon of Desire sect and the Demon Lord of Desire. The leader of the Desire Demon sect? Chen Luo looked at the sudden appearance of the Demon Lord of Desire indifferently, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. The Heart Desire Demon sect was once a top immortal demon sect in the Scarlet Bright Immortal world. It was extremely powerful and not inferior to the current Yuanxian Palace. It used to have a great reputation in the Scarlet Bright Immortal world. What they have mastered is the ultimate power of the great source of desire. They can confuse people's hearts and are devil-like figures who can control people's hearts. With this powerful power, they were once the most popular in the Scarlet Bright Immortal world, causing headaches to countless people and creating a storm. In the end, their leader of the Desire Demon sect disappeared in the Crimson Immortal realm for unknown reasons. After that, their Desire Demon sect slowly declined. Now it has become an ordinary force, no longer as prestigious and powerful as before. Unexpectedly, their sect master was suppressed by the immortal prison of Black and White Dao Palace, Chen Luo thought in his heart. Young man, it was you, was it you who let me out? Wait, it was you who broke the immortal prison. The leader of the Desire Demon sect felt the breath of freedom outside, and after realizing the current situation, he looked at Chen Luo next to him in disbelief. Breaking out of the immortal prison made the Heart Desire Demon Lord very happy. At the same time, after being imprisoned for hundreds of thousands of years, his hatred for the Black and White Dao Palace also reached its extreme. However, correspondingly, the fear of the Black and White Taoist Palace is also deeply implanted in my bones, even though I now keep saying that I want to take back more of everything I have. However, the Demon Lord of Heart Desire most likely wouldn't dare, that is, he would just give it a try. No one understands the preciousness of freedom better than him. The difficulty of the immortal prison also made the Demon of Desire experience the deepest despair. It was a nightmare that he could never break away from. The young man in front of him was able to break the immortal prison. It was obvious that his strength was extremely powerful and could not be manipulated at will. Well, I broke it, what do you want to do? Chen Luo said calmly, without the slightest fear in his eyes. Now that his cultivation has reached the 8th level of the Immortal King, coupled with so many methods, Chen Luo has no one to fear except the real quasi-immortal emperor. The Desire Demon Lord in front of him may be very strong, but Chen Luo also doesn't take it seriously. Senior, thank you for your life-saving grace. From now on, I will go through fire and water if I have any errands for you. The Demon Lord of Heart Desire took a deep breath and said eagerly and respectfully. After being imprisoned for so long, the Demon Lord of Desire is no longer the arrogant Demon Lord he was before. He has learned to assess the situation and lower his head to recognize his own strength. Facing this rising star who could break the immortal prison, the Demon of Desire did not dare to offend too much, not to mention, he also saved himself. Chapter 613 Demons. Seeing the Demon Lord of Desire with such a low posture, Chen Luo felt surprised. He originally thought that this guy would vent his anger after being imprisoned for so long. However, Chen Luo didn't care. No matter what he did, he couldn't affect Chen Luo. Senior, this Black and White Taoist Palace is not simple. Although Senior is powerful, I think it is better to avoid the edge for the time being. None of those old things are simple. The Demon Lord of Desire continued, and looked around carefully, as if checking to see if there was any danger. The Black and White Taoist Palace has imprisoned you for so long, don't you want to take revenge? Chen Luo pondered for a moment and then asked. Senior, who doesn't want to, but the strength of those guys really, makes me unable to muster the courage to take revenge. The Demon Lord of Desire opened his mouth and continued. Are those guys so terrifying? Chen Luo touched his chin. It can make an immortal king of the 9 heavens still unable to have the courage to take revenge. It seems that the foundation of this Black and White Taoist Palace is indeed astonishingly powerful. However, Chen Luo didn't care. As long as the quasi-immortal emperor didn't take action, he was not afraid of anything. The quasi-immortal emperors are now guarding the boundary sea, so Chen Luo is invincible in the scarlet bright immortal world. Well, it's indeed very strong. The demon lord of desire then nodded. Boom! At this time, waves of terrifying roars sounded again in the black mist underground and in the black mist of the immortal prison. One by one, monks exuding a bloody aura flew out of the black mist. In a moment, a large number of monks gathered in the sky of the black and white Taoist palace. That's the old ghost Zisha. He has been imprisoned in the immortal prison for so many years and he didn't die. Taoist Tianling is not dead either, these demons. It's over, it's over. The murderers who were suppressed in the immortal prison and underground have been released. Now our Dao Palace is in big trouble. Why hasn't anyone from the higher UPS in our Dao Palace come forward to take charge of the overall situation? What do they do for food? Yes, the palace master is dead and they haven't come out yet. They have enjoyed the resources of the Dao Palace. Is this how they return to the palace of reporting? The many Taoist geniuses who were watching from a distance had already evacuated to a very far distance, looking at the many demons appearing in the black mist with fear. These guys are all extremely evil and strong men who were suppressed by the immortal prison. Many of them have committed many crimes and have done countless bad things before being suppressed here by the black and white Dao Palace. Moreover, their strength is also extremely powerful. They are basically true immortals and top experts in the realm of immortal kings. Demon Lord, we are out of seclusion. We are finally out. Let's find a place to repair first, and then find a way to subvert the entire black and white Taoist palace. Demon Lord, what you said is indeed correct. As long as you wait for the opportunity, there will be a chance. As expected, we came out. We want to take back everything we have, Demon Lord, long live Demon Lord. Slowly, more and more demons flew out of the black mist, and soon the number reached 700 or 800. These demons who came out all respectfully came to the side of the demon of desire, and looked at the stiff-faced demon of desire next to Chen Luo with fanatical respect. Are they all your men? Chen Luo asked with a hint of surprise in his eyes. Ahem, senior, when I was in the immortal prison, I was bored and just had a casual chat with these demons in the immortal realm. They insisted on worshipping me as their boss. The demon lord of heart desire coughed lightly. Continued. Chapter 614 On the Road. After chatting casually, there were so many subordinates, and the corners of Chen Luo's mouth twitched slightly. This demon lord of desire is truly a talent. He was able to snare so many subordinates even when he was trapped in the immortal prison. The power of the origin of the heart's desire is indeed powerful. After a while, all the demons in the black mist flew out. More than 1,000 terrifying and powerful demons shouted, Lord Demon Lord, in front of the leader of the Desire Demon Sect. Chen Luo just looked at them quietly without paying any attention to them. Qing, let's go and see King Ai first. Chen Luo then looked at Xia Qing next to him with a soft expression. The culprit Su Ming has been beheaded. Chen Luo can easily kill the remaining cats and dogs by following Zhang King Ai's fate line. There is no need to attack them one by one. As for Su Ming's father, the supreme elder of the black and white Taoist palace, Chen Luo could feel that he was not in the black and white Taoist palace now. The supreme elder seemed to be covered by something. Chen Luo could only sense that he was not in the black and white Taoist palace, and did not know where he was specifically. If he encounters someone in the future, he can just kill him casually. Chen Luo has already made up his mind. Yes, Mr. Chen. Xia Qing nodded in agreement. Senior, what about me? What am I going to do now? If there is anything that Senior needs me to do, I will do my best and am bound to do it. At this time, the Demon Lord of Desire has realized that Chen Luo is an extremely powerful person. The monk couldn't help asking for his opinion and quickly spoke out. You have nothing to do now. Just stop killing evil for no reason. For the rest, do whatever you like. Chen Luo said lightly. After saying that, he took Xia Qingqing and left the area directly, leaving only the demon of desire and many demons around him. The demon lord of desire looked at Chen Luo leaving and rolled his eyes. Then, the demon lord of desire absorbed the talent of a Taoist palace in the distance and absorbed his spiritual power, as if he was getting some information. Demon lord, let's leave now. I always feel a little unsafe here. After a while, a senior demon came to the side of the demon lord of desire and continued. Well, but before we leave, we have other things to do. The demon lord of desire threw the genius away and whispered. Lord Demon Lord, what is going on? Many demons asked curiously. Although they all hate the black and white Taoist palace very much, they also know that they are not in their heyday now, and it is not a good choice to confront them head-on. The best choice is to leave here, adjust your condition to its peak, and then make more plans. Of course we are doing things for the senior. Although the senior did not ask us to do anything, we have to be honest. There are some miscellaneous fish that the senior has not solved, so we should help the senior to tie them up. The demon lord of heart and desire raised his head and said sternly, seeming to have become the extremely confident and arrogant demon lord again. Just now, after hearing about the ingestion of the power of desire, the demon lord of heart desire already understood Chen Luo's purpose of coming to the black and white Dao Palace. At the same time, he also understood that the current Dao Palace could not threaten his existence. Therefore, he planned to help Chen Luo do some trivial things. After saying that, the demon lord of heart and desire took many demons and flew towards other parts of the black and white Taoist palace, preparing to kill all the other geniuses and families who participated in the Spirit Road incident and persecuted Zhongqing II. Chapter 615 Repair. The Black and White Palace, a quiet and elegant valley. The valley has beautiful scenery, fresh air, and beautiful flowers everywhere, which looks like a paradise. In front of the waterfall in the valley, Zhongqing II, wearing a green long skirt, graceful and beautiful, is walking on the stone path in front of the waterfall. At this time, Zhongqing Ii's face has become much rosy, and there is a faint vitality surging on her body. Beside Zhongqing Ii, Tan Tai Liulai, who is wearing a white fairy skirt and is like a lotus in clear water, supports Zhongqing Ii, and the two walk slowly on the stone path. Liulai, did Master Chen Luo really go to the black and white palace? Zhongqing Ii looked in the direction of the black and white palace and asked with worry in her eyes. Well, King Ii, don't worry, Master's strength is unparalleled, and the black and white palace can't do anything to Master. Having had many close contacts with Chen Luo, Tan Tai Liulai knows Chen Luo's strength too well. Although the black and white Dao Palace is powerful and has considerable influence, there is still a big gap compared to Chen Luo. She has 100% confidence in Chen Luo. As soon as Tan Tai Liulai said this, Zhongqing Ii felt much more at ease, but she was still very worried. As a student of the black and white Dao Palace, Zhongqing Ii knew that the strength of the black and white Dao Palace did not lie in its strength, but in its huge influence that almost covered the entire Qiming immortal realm. Zhongqing Ii sighed softly and said nothing more, but silently prayed for Chen Luo in her heart. Miss Liulai, continue to help me heal and repair now. I can't be a burden to Master Chen Luo anymore. After a moment, Zhongqing Ii continued, with a firm light flashing in her eyes. Let's wait for the Master to come. The Master's immortal spiritual heaven repairing technique is more powerful. If he comes, he can repair your Dao fruit faster. Tan Tai Liulai rejected Zhongqing Ii's proposal and replied. The immortal spirit heaven repairing technique is an extreme recovery technique created by Chen Luo based on many top healing techniques and top great magical powers. Originally, it was created by Chen Luo because Tan Tai Liulai could not withstand Chen Luo's destruction, so that Tan Tai Liulai could better accept Chen Luo's destruction, and the effect was very significant. More importantly, its healing effect was very powerful. It can repair all things and has the power to seize the creation of heaven. The effect is even more terrifying than Nirvana Spirit Liquid and Creation Spirit Liquid. After Tan Tai Liulai arrived at Zhang King Ai's location, he used this heaven-defying technique to help Zhang King Ai recover a lot of strength, allowing her Tao fruit to slowly gather. However, due to Tan Tai Liulai's insufficient cultivation, the effect was not as significant as Chen Luo's. Zhang King Ai bit her lips lightly and nodded in agreement. King Ai, I'm back. At this moment, a familiar voice came into Zhang King Ai's ears. Then, Zhang King Ai's body was gently hugged by a figure exuding a soft breath. Chen Luo, yes, it's you, are you back? Feeling this long-lost familiar breath, Zhang King Ai's heart tightened, her nose twitched, and then she hugged the figure in front of her tightly. Yes, it's me. Chen Luo stroked Zhang King Ai's soft hair and said softly. Zhang King Ai closed her eyes slightly, leaned gently in Chen Luo's arms, and did not dare to open her eyes. She was afraid that as soon as she opened her eyes, the tears in her eyes would not be able to hold back and would fall down. Don't move, I will repair the Dao fruit for you. Chen Luo continued, and then, his right hand gently covered Zhang King Ai's dantian, feeling the broken Dao fruit in Zhang King Ai's body. Chapter 616 Healing. Chen Luo's original power easily entered Zhang King Ai's body and saw the situation in Zhang King Ai's dantian. At this time, Zhang King Ai's dantian was in a mess. One of the Dao fruits had been completely shattered, and only some breath could be felt. Another Dao fruit had been repaired by Dan Tai Liulai's fairy spirit repairing technique before, and it had slowly reunited, but it was also full of cracks, and it seemed to be about to crack again at any time. Not only the two Dao fruits, Zhang King Ai's dantian also had strands of cracks, and the meridians in many areas were completely broken. Although Zhang King Ai still had a lot of vitality, it didn't look too abnormal from ordinary people. However, the situation in the body was already very pessimistic. If it continued to delay, it would also be a big threat to life. Those people really deserved to die. Chen Luo took a deep breath. If it weren't for the foundation of the double Dao fruit, Chen Luo couldn't imagine how Zhang King Ai could withstand such a tragic and terrifying injury. Let's treat King Ai's injury first. Chen Luo then used the immortal spiritual sky repairing technique, and suddenly, a strong and gentle power of the immortal spiritual sky repairing technique flowed into Zhang King Ai's body. The immortal spiritual sky repairing technique was created by Chen Luo, and his understanding and practice of it had long been perfect. The effect was naturally not comparable to that of Tan Tai Liulai, a half-baked one. The moment the sky repairing spiritual power entered Zhang King Ai's body seemed to be nourished, and the Dao fruit on the verge of breaking in her body was slowly reunited. Zhang King Ai's body appeared a brand new light, and countless strange visions appeared behind Zhang King Ai. The effect is too good. Feeling the transformation of her body, Zhang King Ai's face was full of surprise. She had experienced Tan Tai Liulai's immortal spiritual sky repairing technique. Although Tan Tai Liulai's immortal spiritual sky repairing technique also had a powerful healing effect, it was a world of difference compared to Chen Luo's. There was absolutely no comparability, and it was completely beyond words. Chen Luo was still using the immortal spiritual heaven repairing technique with all his strength. Countless heaven repairing spiritual power surged in Zhang King Ai's body, healing Zhang King Ai's extremely weak body. Behind the two, the stunningly beautiful Xia Qingqing looked at Zhang King Ai, who was getting better, and her heart slowly calmed down. After Zhang King Ai suffered such a severe blow, Xia Qingqing was also extremely worried, secretly hating herself for not having the strength and means to help Zhang King Ai recover. Now seeing Zhang King Ai successfully recovering slowly with the help of Chen Luo, how could Xia Qingqing not be happy? Time passed slowly, and after half a quarter of an hour, Zhang King Ai's meridians, dantian, and Dao fruit in her body had been completely healed, and Zhang King Ai had returned to her original agile appearance. Even the broken Dao fruit was also reunited at this moment, and the new Dao fruit seemed to become even more powerful under the powerful power of the immortal spiritual heaven repairing technique. Thank you, Mr. Chen. After feeling that her body had completely recovered, Zhang Qing'ai bowed slightly to express her gratitude to Chen Luo. Why should we be so polite to each other? Chen Luo took Zhang Qing'ai, who had recovered, into his arms and said slowly. Zhang Qing'ai nodded gently, her eyelashes trembling slightly, and then enjoyed Chen Luo's embrace full of security. There are still some guys, let's deal with them now. Chen Luo whispered, and then prepared to follow the thread of Zhang Qing'ai's fate and kill all the guys who participated in the incident of hurting Zhang Qing'ai. Chapter 617 Chaos in the Dao Palace. Chen Luo then used the power of the Fate Void body, and his eyes saw through the many fate threads on Zhang Qing'ai's body. Soon, Chen Luo found the blood-colored thread related to Zhang Qing'ai's injury among her fate threads. This was it, and a cold and indifferent look flashed across Chen Luo's eyes. Hey, are all these people gone? Just as Chen Luo was about to take action, he suddenly discovered that many fine threads connected to this blood-colored thread had been completely broken. Moreover, they were all just broken, and there was a faint scarlet blood on them. Obviously, the people related to this matter were almost dead at this moment. Chen Luo narrowed his eyes slightly, and the Fate Void body continued to operate, looking for the source of these broken threads. It was him, that guy was interesting. Chen Luo raised his eyebrows, and the Fate Void body operated slightly and immediately sensed that it was the hand of the Heart Desire Master. This guy is not bad, he took the initiative to help him deal with some trash. This is good, it saves some effort, but there is one last one. Chen Luo narrowed his eyes slightly. Now, the only thing related to this bloody thread is a thick thread containing terrifying original power. Chen Luo knew that the end of this thread was Su Ming's father, the supreme elder of the Black and White Taoist Palace. It was because of his support that Su Ming had the courage to do such a thing, and those other trialists would join Su Ming. The person who should be most responsible for this matter is the supreme elder of the Black and White Taoist Palace. I will kill him again when I have the chance in the future. Chen Luo took a deep breath and suppressed his thoughts. Judging from the area connected by this thread of fate, the area where the supreme elder of the Black and White Taoist Palace is located is very far away, and there is an extremely strong aura around him, which makes Chen Luo's Fate Void body unable to spy on it. All those guys in the Black and White Palace have been dealt with. Let's go back to the ancient immortal city first. After making sure that all the small fish were dead, Chen Luo continued to say to Zhang Qing'ai and others. Zhang Qing'ai and others nodded, and then left the Black and White Palace with Chen Luo. At the same time, with the death of the Palace Master of the Black and White Palace and the destruction of the Immortal Prison, the entire Black and White Palace fell into unprecedented chaos. The constantly diffused black mist destroyed the powerful restrictions of the Black and White Palace, and all kinds of magic arrays were destroyed completely. Many other cultivators from other forces hidden in the Black and White Immortal Realm who had bad intentions took advantage of the chaos in the Dao Palace and continued to plunder the wealth accumulated by the Black and White Palace for countless years. Not only the cultivators of many other forces, but also many disciples and elders of the Black and White Palace were ready to move at this moment. After the Dao Palace fell into chaos, slowly some disciples and elders also joined the ranks of plundering. Many top leaders came out to maintain order, but there were too many plunderers, and there was no top strongman to suppress everything. There seemed to be a mysterious force in the dark, pushing the chaos forward. Soon, the chaos in the Black and White Palace was not suppressed at all, but became bigger and bigger, and slowly, it had a tendency to expand to the entire Black and White Fairyland. Boss, you are too strong. You used a little power of desire casually to play the entire Black and White Palace into this. You are worthy of being the king of desire. This means of controlling people's hearts is too strong. In a ruin of the Black and White Palace, a demon head full of black demonic energy said enthusiastically to the Desire Demon Lord next to him. The other demon heads around also looked at the Desire Demon Lord with a fanatical look, and their belief in him became even stronger. No, I didn't use the power of desire. Didn't you bewitch those guys? The Desire Demon Lord on the side was stunned, his eyes full of confusion. Chapter 618 Chaos in the Dao Palace, continued. After dealing with those who participated in persecuting Zhang King II, the Heart Desire Demon Lord has been honest and has not made any trouble. After all, he is not sure about Chen Luo's thoughts. He is lucky to escape from the immortal prison, so how can he dare to do anything else? If he makes trouble and makes Chen Luo feel unhappy and suppresses him again, it will be so unfair. He thought that these chaos were caused by his subordinates carelessly. Boss, without your order, how dare we confuse others at will? It's not us. Yes, boss, we just came out of the immortal prison, how can we have the strength to confuse other cultivators and cause such a big chaos? That's right, boss, don't joke, if it's not you, who else can it be? You must be modest, boss, I know it's you, don't joke with us. Boss, you are still as humorous as always. After the Heart Desire Demon Lord finished speaking, many cultivators who came out of the immortal prison around him spoke up, not trusting the Demon Lord's words. Really, it's really not me. The face of the Heart Desire Demon Lord turned extremely ugly. Since it wasn't him, nor his subordinates, then. The other cultivators around him saw the Heart Desire Demon Lord say this, and they immediately felt uneasy. The Black and White Dao Palace is a top force that has stood for countless years, with the attention of many forces, plus its strong foundation. Even if the palace master and many cultivators died, it wouldn't become so chaotic all of a sudden. In addition, they are the strongest force in the Black and White Dao Palace now, if this chaos is not caused by them. Then, boss, it seems that there are other top forces coveting this Black and White Dao Palace. A demon cultivator swallowed his saliva and said. Although the Black and White Dao Palace is not the most powerful, it is extremely involved. Since they dare to do such a thing to the Black and White Dao Palace, that force must be extremely powerful, and they have great intentions. Let's go quickly, no matter what the Black and White Dao Palace wants to do, let's go. As soon as the monk said this, the Heart Desire Demon Lord also realized that something was wrong and hurriedly spoke out. Boss, it's too late, we can't leave anymore. A demon monk seemed to have discovered something and screamed. Everyone looked up suddenly after hearing this, and saw countless origin chains appearing in the sky. These origin chains seemed to be sealing the sky and the earth, imprisoning the entire world. Even the surrounding space had a strong sense of oppression, and the space seemed to be slowly solidifying and freezing everything. What the hell is this? Are we going to be imprisoned again just after we came out? The Heart Desire Demon Lord looked at the chains in the sky and the huge sense of oppression that was growing geometrically around him, and his face became extremely ugly. The origin chain in the sky was extremely powerful and terrifying, and even he had no confidence in breaking it. Moreover, the slowly solidifying space around him also made the Heart Desire Demon Lord feel a strong sense of oppression and unable to leave. The scene at this time reminded him of the situation when he was about to be imprisoned in the immortal prison. Thinking that he was going to be imprisoned again, the Heart Desire Demon Lord felt extremely aggrieved. It was okay to be imprisoned last time, and he did do many excessive things. But this time, there was really no reason. Chapter 619, Evil Shadows Raging. Not only the Heart Desire Demon Lord, but also many other demon monks who had just come out of the immortal prison were also desperate and depressed. This feeling of being suppressed was too uncomfortable. There were more and more origin chains in the sky. Soon, the dense black origin chains completely covered the entire sky. The power of the solidified space became stronger and stronger. Then, more people felt abnormal and tried to escape from the Black and White Palace to get rid of the danger here. However, the constantly solidifying power cut off all their escape routes. The Heart Desire Demon Lord could not escape, let alone those weak Black and White Palace disciples and elders. They could only be completely suppressed by these terrifying forces and could not leave at all. Hwa hwa hwa. At this time, in the depths of the Black and White Palace, a more terrifying force suddenly emerged. Many buildings of the Black and White Palace in the depths were shattered, including those top-level palaces, huge mountains, and large areas of spiritual herbs and flowers, which were constantly collapsing. Even the space was completely shattered, and it seemed that something more terrifying was coming. Everyone in the Black and White Palace felt a sense of fear that penetrated into their souls. This was a fear from the depths of their souls that could not be suppressed at all. This sense of fear was even more terrifying than the space-freezing force and the origin chains in the sky that they were currently experiencing. Boom! Before long, the space deep in the Black and White Palace was completely shattered. In that area, everything turned into nothingness, and the entire space became like a hole. However, the majestic momentum became stronger and stronger, tearing everything around. The entire hole was constantly expanding and spreading in all directions. Wherever the hole went, it completely swallowed up everything. What on earth is this? The Heart Desire Demon Lord looked at the expanding black hole in the Black and White Palace, and the fear in his heart became more and more intense. His soul seemed to emit a low scream of fear. The Heart Desire Demon Lord felt that the aura contained in these black holes was even more extremely evil than himself. Hwa hwa hwa. Then, a terrifying evil shadow appeared in the huge gap, and the monstrous evil energy continued to spread and surge from the hole. Black and White Kid, you have trapped me for so many years. Today, I will destroy everything in your Black and White Palace. A low and evil voice followed. The terrifying evil shadow continued to expand and soon rushed out of the huge black hole. The evil shadow was full of extremely evil aura. The spiritual power and power of the entire Black and White Palace surged towards the evil shadow like a storm. Many monks and elders in the Black and White Palace were also devoured by this powerful force and lost their lives. What kind of monster did the people of the Black and White Palace imprison here? The heart-destined demon looked at the evil shadow flying out of the hole, and his face became extremely ugly. Li Yulai, do you know what that is? In the sky of a valley outside the Black and White Palace, Chen Luo looked at the evil shadow that was constantly expanding in the depths of the Black and White Palace and asked curiously. This evil shadow contained a lot of the aura of the evil spirit clan, but it seemed completely different from the evil spirit clan. The extreme evil and the feeling of trembling the soul made Chen Luo feel a little frightened. Sir, I remember that hundreds of thousands of years ago, when the evil spirits swept across the entire fairy world, the Black and White Dao Palace seemed to have captured a mutated evil spirit. This might be the mutated evil spirit. Tan Tai Li Yulai looked at the evil shadow in the distance and spoke slowly. Chapter 620 Mutated Evil Spirit. Mutated Evil Spirits. Chen Luo's eyes narrowed slightly, his eyes full of surprise. Could this monster be a mutated evil spirit race? Zhang Qing'ai and Xia Qingqing on the side looked confused. They didn't know too many details about the last time the evil spirit tribe swept through the fairy world. As for this mutated evil spirit clan, they didn't even know what it was called, and they had never heard of it. Lu Li, are there any mutated evil spirits? Xia Qingqing asked without understanding, blinking her big eyes, full of curiosity. I also learned from some information from the Black and White Taoist Palace. It is said that this mutated evil spirit tribe showed very terrifying potential when it was only in the true immortal realm. It killed the giant of the immortal king realm in our fairy world, Black and White. Daogong discovered that it had powers that were similar to those of the evil spirit clan, so it spent a huge price to capture it. Tantai Li Yulai continued to explain slowly. Before going to the Black and White Taoist Palace, Tantai Li Yulai inquired about a lot of information about the Black and White Taoist Palace, and only then did she know this information. Chen Luo didn't speak, but looked at the mutated evil spirit tribe in the depths. The power of the void body of fate slowly unfolded, and Chen Luo tried to use the power of fate to find out its true origin. However, this evil shadow also had incomparable mysterious power, blocking Chen Luo's exploration. Even Chen Luo could not detect its origin. However, Chen Luo could feel that the power of this evil shadow was indeed very similar to that of the evil spirit clan. Lu Li, when this mutated evil spirit clan was caught, was it just the true fairyland? Chen Luo seemed to have discovered something and then asked. At this time, this evil spirit clan has reached the peak of the Immortal King 9th level. It has even grown the power of immortality and is heading towards the forbidden realm of the quasi-immortal emperor. If he continues to improve slowly like this, it won't take long before he may be able to break through the bottleneck of this taboo realm and completely reach the realm of quasi-immortal emperor. Yes, young master, when this mutated evil spirit tribe was captured, it was said that it was only after the 8th level of the true immortal realm and the black and white Dao Palace damaged 2 immortal kings that they captured this mutated evil spirit tribe. Dan Tai Liulai pondered for a moment, then answered. It seems that the black and white Taoist palace has been cultivating this mutated evil spirit clan. Chen Luo whispered, with suspicion in his eyes. It was only the 8th level of the true immortal at the beginning. If the ban was suppressed with all the strength, let alone breaking through to the current state of almost a quasi-immortal emperor, it would be impossible even to maintain the state of the 8th level of the true immortal. Now, he has directly reached the 9th level of the immortal king and is about to hit the realm of the quasi-immortal emperor. Obviously, it was the people from the black and white Taoist palace who were cultivating this mutated evil spirit clan, and they spent a lot of money. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to grow so fast. Why does the black and white Dao Palace cultivate this mutated evil spirit tribe? Aren't the evil spirit tribe our enemies? Zhang Qingai also felt confused. Although the black and white Taoist palace does some things that are not authentic, the black and white Taoist palace has always been fighting against the evil spirit tribe with all its strength. Why would it help the enemy to raise such a powerful monster when it is in the same camp as the human race of the Scarlet Bright Immortal Realm? Maybe I know the reason. Suddenly, Chen Luo spoke, raised his head, and stared straight at the terrifying evil figure. Chapter 621 Control? Chen Luo's gaze seemed to penetrate the infinite space and directly reach the body of the evil shadow. The deep gaze saw that in the depths of the evil shadow's pupils, there were mysterious and unusual curse seals. The curse seal seemed to be connected to an unknown power, and it filled every inch of the evil shadow's flesh and blood and power unconsciously. However, now the curse seal seemed to be completely suppressed by the evil shadow's own power and could not play any role at all. Control. The people of the Black and White Dao Palace want to control this mutant evil spirit clan. They have placed a curse seal on this mutant evil spirit clan that can control the body and mind. If this mutant evil spirit clan breaks through the quasi-immortal emperor realm, it will have a forbidden combat power of the quasi-immortal emperor realm. Chen Luo then spoke lightly, and saw through the plan of the Black and White Dao Palace at a glance. They actually want to control an evil spirit clan at the quasi-immortal emperor realm. Tan Tai Liulai and others were stunned. They didn't expect the Black and White Dao Palace to be so bold. They are really crazy. Quasi-immortal emperor is a forbidden existence. Can the Black and White Dao Palace control it? Xia Qingqing whispered, her eyes full of shock. Quasi-immortal emperor is an existence that has already entered the forbidden realm. Even calling his name directly will be sensed. Black and White Dao Palace, a force that has not even produced a forbidden strongman, dared to do such a thing. It's really crazy. No, so there is the current situation. They may have overestimated their means. Chen Luo shrugged. There is nothing wrong with having such an idea. After all, the last battle of the evil spirit clan was too strong, leaving a shadow on all the cultivators in the entire Qiming immortal realm. It is not surprising to have such a crazy idea. However, after the threat of the evil spirit clan was eliminated, these people did not give up. This made Chen Luo admire these people a little. They are really brave. Sir, what about this guy? Tan Tai Liulai asked, with a little fear in his eyes. This is the invincible evil spirit tribe that is close to the realm of quasi-immortal emperor. When the quasi-immortal emperor does not come out, it can be said that it is the strongest fighting force in the entire Qiming immortal realm. Don't worry about it. The people of the Black and White Dao Palace should be able to deal with it temporarily. The heaven and earth sealing arrays in the Black and White Dao Palace can trap the evil spirit tribe. Chen Luo looked at the dense and huge origin chains in the sky above the sealed sky and replied. It turns out that these heaven and earth chains were set up by the Black and White Dao Palace for this evil spirit tribe. Tan Tai Liulai also understood why there are such powerful heaven and earth chains here. But why do the people of the Black and White Dao Palace want to completely suppress the other people of the Black and White Dao Palace and the Black and White Immortal Realm here? Xia Qingqing was still a little confused. To let the evil spirit tribe break through the realm of quasi-immortal emperor. Chen Luo looked at the mutated evil spirit tribe that was constantly absorbing the surrounding flesh and blood spirits, and said slowly. Why did they give their own people to a monster? Zhang Qingai and others were shocked by Chen Luo's words. However, seeing the increasingly powerful aura of the evil spirits, the overwhelming heaven and earth sealing formation, and the heart-wrenching wails coming from it, the women understood that Chen Luo's guess was most likely true. Those guys were already prepared to sacrifice the entire fairyland. Let's go, we don't need to get involved in this. Chen Luo shook his head, then slowly said, not intending to pay attention to this matter. Since they have already done this, Chen Luo will naturally not interfere. He can interfere, but it is unnecessary. Human, you dare to spy on this emperor. At this moment, a low and evil voice penetrated the space and filled the area around Chen Luo. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Chapter 622 The Fear of Evil Shadow. That guy. Hearing the cold and hoarse voice coming from the Black and White Dao Palace area, Chen Luo's eyes flashed with a trace of astonishment. I'm ready to leave. You want to provoke me at this time? Boom boom boom. Then, a terrifying power of the origin of the avenue came out from inside, and the majestic sense of oppression almost completely tore the territory where Chen Luo was. In an instant, the area around Chen Luo completely collapsed, as if there was an endless breath of destruction raging. Chen Luo didn't even raise his eyelids, and the immortal power in his body was running, forming a layer of protection around himself and Tan Tai Liulai and others. The terrifying aura of destruction that almost destroyed everything was easily resisted, and did not cause any harm to Chen Luo and Zhang Qingai and others. You wait here, I'll go and deal with that guy. Chen Luo's eyes flashed with coldness, and said. After saying that, Chen Luo left behind an extremely powerful Deluo immortal origin power to guard the women, and then he rushed back into the territory of the Black and White Dao Palace. Since that guy wouldn't let him go, he simply wouldn't leave. Boom boom boom. The moment Chen Luo rushed into the Black and White Dao Palace, the powerful Deluo immortal origin power on Chen Luo's body completely tore apart the dense and constantly raging heaven and earth origin chains. The terrifying suppression force disappeared in an instant, and the many human cultivators who were suppressed in the Black and White Dao Palace sensed the disappearance of this suppression force, and hurriedly left this area quickly, gaining a glimmer of hope. Thank you for saving me again, Senior, I will never forget your kindness. The Heart Desire Demon Lord also took advantage of this gap to escape and bowed to Chen Luo, who rushed into the depths of the Dao Palace. Chen Luo ignored it, and now he just wanted to kill that evil spirit guy. Human, you are quite powerful. I admit that I misjudged you a little bit. However, since you let my blood food go, you should pay me back with your origin. The terrifying evil shadow looked at Chen Luo, who was rushing towards him with an extremely cold look in his eyes. That cold look almost froze the entire space completely. Chen Luo raised his right hand lightly, and the power of the immortal origin of Deluo formed a huge palm and slapped it towards the evil shadow. You dare to show off your skills in front of an expert with just a trifling trick. The evil shadow saw the huge palm that Chen Luo showed, and said coldly, with disdain in his eyes. However, the evil shadow still mobilized the powerful immortal power to resist. However, the immortal power of the evil shadow had just formed a powerful spiritual pressure when it was shattered by the golden palm. Pa! The palm that shattered the spiritual pressure slapped heavily on the face of the evil shadow, and the body of the evil shadow was immediately blown away by the terrifying power and was beaten back into the huge hole deep in the black and white Taoist palace. The aura of Xia Ying, who was beaten back to his own hollow, instantly weakened a lot, and the dazzling immortal origin power on his body seemed to become much dimmer. Xia Ying immediately realized that the person in front of him was not someone he could easily control. With his invincible strength that was about to break through to the quasi-immortal emperor, he was actually not the opponent of the person in front of him. It was really incredible. Moreover, Xia Ying could feel that Chen Luo in front of him seemed to have a lower realm than himself. Even if his realm was lower than his, he could still completely suppress him. Thinking of this, Xia Ying felt a little absurd, and even a little scared. It has always been the one who suppresses people against the realm, but now it is suppressed by others. Chapter 623, Strange Immortal Power. You, who are you? Xia Ying suppressed the fear in his heart and asked tremblingly. Boom! Chen Luo ignored Xia Ying's words and continued to use the powerful Deluo immortal origin power to launch a fierce attack on Xia Ying. The powerful Deluo immortal origin power rushed towards Xia Ying like a rainstorm. Xia Ying constantly mobilized his own power to defend. However, Chen Luo's means were so amazing. He had many top supreme physiques and top-level great magical powers. His strength had long reached the peak of the Immortal King. In addition, with the immortal origin power of the Deluo immortal body, any existence that was not at the quasi-immortal emperor level was not Chen Luo's opponent and would be easily suppressed by him. You're shouting so hard, is this all your strength? Looking at the evil shadow who was easily suppressed by him and had almost no counterattack power, Chen Luo said lightly. He fought with this evil shadow partly because he wanted to see how big the gap between his strength and the quasi-immortal emperor was. However, the strength of this evil shadow really disappointed Chen Luo. The aura of the evil shadow was very close to that of the quasi-immortal emperor, but there was still a qualitative gap between his strength and that of the quasi-immortal emperor, which made Chen Luo feel no pressure at all. Such an all-round crushing made it impossible to detect his own strength. You forced me to do this, human, you succeeded in angering me, I want you dead. Hearing Chen Luo's words, the evil shadow was angry and roared loudly, and the immortal power around him was constantly rioting, as if brewing an extremely terrifying power. Chen Luo looked at the evil shadow whose aura was constantly expanding, and finally a trace of intention appeared on his face. If it was solved so easily, it would be too boring. The immortal power of the evil emperor, added to my body. The evil shadow said angrily, the blood in his body was constantly boiling, and it seemed that there was a power beyond everything descending from the void. Although the body of the evil shadow did not change at all, Chen Luo could feel that the aura of the evil shadow was climbing towards a more terrifying realm. What kind of power is this? Chen Luo narrowed his eyes slightly, and the power of the fate void body was stimulated by Chen Luo. Chen Luo wanted to follow this mysterious power to explore its source. However, the power of destiny soon found that there were white mysterious powers around the evil shadow. This power was invisible, but it was real. It was this white power that kept pouring in from the unknown void and blessing the evil shadow, making the evil shadow's breath continue to expand. Human, angering me is the most wrong decision you have made in your life. I will show you what absolute suppression is. After his breath became more terrifying again, the evil shadow felt that he was fine again and roared. The evil shadow then quickly launched a fierce attack on Chen Luo. The strong immortal power rushed towards Chen Luo like an indestructible pillar. Chen Luo did not boast, but pushed his Deluo immortal power to the extreme. The evil shadow rushed to Chen Luo's side in an instant, but the powerful immortal power of the evil shadow was completely unable to break Chen Luo's immortal power. Bang! Then, a violent collision sound broke out, and the evil shadow was blown away by Chen Luo's defensive power. Wait, this power! Chen Luo picked up a trace of the white power that was scattered when the evil shadow was blown away, and a subtle expression appeared on his face. Chapter 624 Opportunity for Advancement. The white power floated gently in Chen Luo's hand, and there was still a strange immortal power flowing on it. I can absorb this power perfectly. Chen Luo murmured in his heart. It turned out that this white power floated in Chen Luo's hand, and Chen Luo's Chaos Immortal Scripture and Hell Furnace operated unconsciously. This white power containing strange immortal power was actually completely absorbed by Chen Luo. After absorbing this power, Chen Luo felt that his cultivation of the eighth heaven of the Immortal King had improved a lot. At least it was equivalent to the return of the cultivation effect he obtained from the Taigu Immortal City and Tianzu Peak in a month. Just a little power has improved me so much. If I absorb all the power summoned by the evil spirit clan. Chen Luo looked at the evil shadow not far away, and his eyes were filled with joy. I didn't expect there would be such a surprise here. This is a real experience pack. I can let this evil shadow constantly summon this white power for myself to absorb, so that my cultivation can break through quickly. At Chen Luo's current level, it is very difficult to improve quickly. Even if Chen Luo has the cultivation effect of many disciples from Taigu Xianchang and Tianzu Peak, it is still the same. If you want to break through, it is not something that can be accomplished overnight. Now that he has such an opportunity, Chen Luo is of course extremely happy. You, don't be too happy too early, it's just the beginning, I will get stronger and stronger. Xia Ying saw Chen Luo's eyes that looked like he was looking at prey, felt that he was severely insulted, and made another harsh remark. Okay, continue to summon this power, the more the better. Chen Luo heard the words, and the light in his eyes became brighter. You asked for this, you will pay the price for your arrogance. Xia Ying saw that Chen Luo didn't take him seriously at all, and said angrily. He has decided that when his power reaches the point where he can crush everything, he will ravage and humiliate this guy thousands of times, so that he can also taste the frustration of being completely suppressed by others. Hua hua hua. Thinking of this, Xia Ying raised his summoning power to a new level again. In the dark, more white power descended from the unknown void and surged towards Xia Ying. The rich white spiritual power almost condensed into substance. Under the flow of more white power, Xia Ying's breath became more terrifying. Well done, this strength is enough. Chen Luo's face was full of praise. After speaking, Chen Luo raised his right hand and showed the devouring power of his Chaos Immortal Scripture and Hell Furnace, constantly devouring the power summoned by Xia Ying. The surging white power, along with the devouring power of the Hell Furnace, continued to enter Chen Luo's body. Boom! Chen Luo, who was blessed with a lot of white power, was also constantly expanding his breath and heading towards a more powerful field. You, how dare you absorb the power of my clan's evil emperor, stop it, stop it. After a while, Xia Ying also found that Chen Luo was absorbing the power he summoned, and he shouted heartbreakingly with his eyes wide open. Chen Luo seemed to be more uncomfortable than killing him when he absorbed these powers. But of course Chen Luo would not pay attention. The more of this kind of free power, the better. Seeing that Chen Luo did not stop at all, Xia Ying hurriedly prepared to stop summoning this power. If you dare to stop, I will destroy you today. Seeing that he had a tendency to stop, Chen Luo spoke lightly, his eyes were extremely cold. Are you kidding? It's not easy to get such an opportunity to improve. How could Chen Luo give up like this? Chapter 625, Surrender. While Chen Luo was speaking, he sacrificed the quasi-immortal Emperor Longsword that he had obtained in the psychic universe. The quasi-immortal Emperor Longsword, which was covered with black blood and almost decayed, instantly flew to Xia Ying's side and stopped at Xia Ying's neck. The sharp edge, the cold light that tore through everything made Xia Ying's scalp numb, his hair stood up, and the blood in his body seemed to have stopped flowing. Xia Ying could feel the powerful force contained in this strange long sword, which was a terrifying force that could really tear him apart completely. If he was cut down by this long sword, even if he was the invincible immortal king of the ninth heaven of the immortal king, who was about to break through the quasi-immortal emperor realm, he would not be able to escape from this terrifying force. At the same time, Xia Ying was also very frustrated and helpless. This guy clearly had the strength to suppress everything, but he still wanted to play tricks on him. It was really too frustrating. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, he traveled across many realms, and was almost invincible among his peers. He could even kill people at a different level. But now, he is being played like a clown by a human cultivator whose level is lower than his. No, he must survive. Only by surviving can he have a chance. I am willing to cooperate. Don't kill me. After a moment of struggle, Xia Ying gave his answer. He didn't want to die. After all, only by surviving can he have a future. Okay, then continue to summon the immortal power with all your strength. I didn't ask you to stop. You are not allowed to stop. Chen Luo saw Xia Ying surrender, and then spoke lightly. Chen Luo was not surprised that Xia Ying would cooperate. After all, he had already reached the pinnacle of the immortal king realm, and was only one step away from the forbidden realm of the quasi-immortal emperor. Any spiritual being would not give up his life at this time when he was about to transcend and become a forbidden existence. Yes. Xia Ying took a deep breath, then suppressed many thoughts in his heart, and began to summon the immortal power of the evil emperor with all his strength. Hwa hwa hwa. With the summons of the evil shadow, the immortal power of the evil emperor descending from the dark became more and more majestic. Seeing this, Chen Luo also pushed his hell furnace to the extreme, constantly absorbing the power summoned by the evil shadow. Countless immortal powers of the evil emperor were absorbed by Chen Luo along the hell furnace and turned into his cultivation. Time passed slowly, and Chen Luo's cultivation was constantly improving. Chiming Immortal Realm, the Boundary Sea. The Boundary Sea is at the edge of the Chiming Immortal Realm, where there is a breath of nothingness and chaos everywhere. The entire Boundary Sea is surrounded by endless stars and misty starry sky. Countless void and chaotic auras, as well as many mysterious and brilliant auras, make this Boundary Sea starry sky very beautiful and full of beauty. In a fiery red star in the Boundary Sea that exudes a hot breath, the stars are all wrapped in countless fiery auras. Who? In the central area of the fiery red star, an old man wearing a white Taoist robe and with a kind face was sitting cross-legged in the central area of the star. The fiery aura of the entire star seemed to have condensed into substance, turning into a raging flame that almost burned everything, rushing towards the old man in the central area. The flame that burned everything melted all matter and space, but it could not cause any harm to the old man. In the burning of this flame, the old man's aura seemed to be slowly becoming stronger and hotter. Who killed my child? After a while, the old man suddenly opened his eyes, and there was a raging fire raging in his eyes. Chapter 626 Su Sheng and number 039, S Speculation. As soon as the old man finished speaking, a vigorous flame gushed out from his body and shot out in all directions. In an instant, the surrounding stars, the earth, and the dome of the sky were all covered by the flames. The entire star became extremely hot, and there were bursts of burning sounds. After a while, the star that originally had a lot of vitality became 1,000 miles of barren land, and there was a dead silence everywhere, as if it had experienced endless plunder and destruction. Damn it, who is it? The old man's voice was hoarse, and his body was shaking with anger. Master Su, what happened to make you so angry? At this time, the space around the old man was distorted, and a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe appeared next to the old man called Old Su. My child Su Ming, was beheaded in the black and white Taoist palace. The old man's eyes were full of grief, and his body trembled. It turned out that this old man was the supreme elder of the Black and White Taoist Palace, Su Sheng. This middle-aged man is Zhu Jing, a disciple Su Sheng had taught in the Black and White Palace. Zhu Jing has outstanding strength and talent. After graduating from the Black and White Palace, he went to the Boundary Sea to guard the Boundary Sea and became a leader of the Boundary Sea. What? Someone in the Qiming Immortal Realm actually dared to kill Master Su Ming in the Black and White Palace. After hearing Su Sheng's words, Zhu Jing's face changed slightly and his brows were furrowed. As Su Sheng's former disciple, Zhu Jing certainly knew the status of Su Ming in Su Sheng's mind. Originally, Su Ming was also sent to the Boundary Sea to fight by a sign, but in order to prevent Su Ming from taking any risks, Su Sheng paid 3 Fairy King artifacts to exempt Su Ming from the sign and continue to practice in the Black and White Palace. This shows how important Su Ming is in Su Sheng's heart. Moreover, Su Ming died in the Black and White Palace, which is even more incredible. The Black and White Palace has an extraordinary status in the Qiming Immortal Realm. It is impossible for anyone to dare to kill in it at will, let alone kill Master Su Ming. I don't know. The murderer seems to have special means. Even with my bloodline induction, I can't track him. However, I feel a trace of destiny. My child even disappeared in the long river of destiny. Su Sheng took a deep breath and then said slowly. Could it be a forbidden person who made a move? Zhu Jing asked. When it comes to transcendence and destiny, they are basically forbidden quasi-immortal emperors above the realm of immortal kings. Only such strong people can completely annihilate and make the true spirit of the cultivator disappear in the long river of destiny. It is impossible for ordinary immortal king giants to master such power. No, it's impossible. If it was a forbidden strong person who made a move, I would have died. It must be a fairy king who stole the power of destiny. Su Sheng took a deep breath and then said coldly, expressing his guess. Not long ago, he also sensed that the breath seemed to be exploring his location. However, because he was in the Boundary Sea, the breath could not penetrate completely. From this, it can be seen that he is definitely not a real forbidden quasi-immortal emperor. If he is, even with the barrier of the Sea of Boundaries, he would be seriously injured or even killed in the exploration. It is the immortal king who stole the power of destiny. In this case, it is not. Hearing Su Sheng's words, Zhu Jing fell into deep thought. Chapter 627 Confidence and Rumors. Generally speaking, the power of destiny belongs to the forbidden strong ones, but there are also a small number of monks who will steal the power of destiny. Those monks who have stolen the power of destiny can also use the power of destiny for a short period of time. Master Su, do you need me to ask someone to move around and find the murderer? After pondering for a moment, Zhu Jing continued slowly, looking directly at Su Sheng. Su Sheng now needs to guard the Boundary Sea and it is inconvenient to move around. Therefore, even if his child is killed, there is no way to find the murderer and take revenge. But Zhu Jing is different. Due to the continuous expansion of the alien invasion, Zhu Jing, the leader of the Boundary Sea Guardian, also has many teams in the Scarlet Bright Immortal World. You can definitely do something for Su Sheng when it is inconvenient for him. Zhu Jing, I'm sorry to bother you, you must find the murderer for me. Su Sheng then said slowly, his eyes full of gratitude. Master Su, take care of it on me. Zhu Jing continued confidently. He was just an immortal king who had stolen the power of destiny, but Zhu Jing was still sure of it and reached his current position of strength. As long as the opponent has not truly transcended and entered the realm of the forbidden quasi-immortal emperor, he can deal with it with absolute confidence. By the way, Zhu Jing, there is one more thing I want to discuss with you. Su Sheng seemed to have a look of hesitation on his face, and then said slowly. Master Su, tell me. Zhu Jing said softly. You still remember that our Black and White Taoist palace suppressed a mutated evil spirit clan? Su Sheng hesitated for a moment, then said in a deep voice. Of course I remember, that evil spirit tribe is extremely powerful, a terrifying existence that a true immortal can kill the immortal king. Zhu Jing replied. Zhu Jing knew about this when he was in the black and white Taoist palace, and went to check out the tyrannical evil spirit in person. It was indeed an evil spirit with overwhelming evil and very terrifying. The evil spirit was suppressed by me under the black and white Dao Palace, but just now I felt that the evil spirit seemed to have escaped from the suppression, and his aura was heading towards the quasi-immortal emperor. Su Sheng then said slowly. Escaped from the suppression. Wait, Master Su, hasn't that evil spirit been destroyed in its origin and unable to break through? Zhu Jing's expression changed drastically. Could it be that, Master Su, the rumors are true? You want to cultivate evil spirits in the quasi-immortal emperor realm and then control them? Zhu Jing seemed to have thought of something, and then said in disbelief. There were rumors before that the black and white Dao Palace did not suppress the evil spirit, but even secretly cultivated him, hoping to let the evil spirit grow and control him. Zhu Jing had always sneered, but now, Su Sheng said such words. Yes, the rumors are true, but now there is a problem. Su Sheng said in a hoarse voice. He had just sensed it, but he was so caught up in Su Ming's death that he didn't realize the seriousness of the problem for a while. Sex. Master Su, you are confused. How can you control such powerful evil spirits? Taboos, don't you know what taboos are? Zhu Jing sighed. Zhu Jing, you are the only one who can help me now. If the Realm Master knows about this, then the countless years of glory of the entire black and white Dao Palace will be completely destroyed. Su Sheng looked at Zhu Jing with a pleading look on his face. Now that his child is gone, he doesn't want to become the filth in the endless splendor of the black and white Taoist palace. If the matter spreads out, all the foundation of the black and white Taoist palace will be destroyed, and there will be no improvement. How do you want me to help you? Looking at Su Sheng in front of him, Zhu Jing's heart softened again. That murderer, all this was done by that murderer. Su Sheng's eyes flashed with a fierce look, and then he said firmly. Chapter 628 9th Level. Master Su, do you want the murderer to take responsibility for all this? Zhu Jing understood immediately after hearing Su Sheng's words. Su Sheng wanted to put all the blame on the one who killed his child. As long as all this was done by the murderer, the black and white palace would be safe, and the countless years of heritage and glory would still be there. Moreover, in the future, it would still be the top power in the chiming immortal realm. Zhu Jing, you are the only one who can help me now. Su Sheng then looked at Zhu Jing in front of him, and said in a low voice. Deep in the black and white palace. At this time, the depths of the black and white palace were wrapped in countless terrifying auras, and the terrifying immortal power was constantly surging toward the outside, and the majestic aura almost tore the entire sky apart. In the deep area, the aura of the evil shadow was constantly weakening, and the originally rich and majestic aura became much weaker at this moment. Many of the black evil spirit auras on his body turned into nothingness. However, even at such a weak point, the evil shadow was still summoning the strange immortal power with all his strength. Next to Xie Ying, Chen Luo was wrapped in an endless and terrifying aura, constantly absorbing the strange immortal power summoned by Xie Ying. After half a month of absorption, Chen Luo's aura was infinitely close to the 9th level of the Immortal King. The many origin fruits in the body released rich Immortal King origin power. Master, is it okay? If you continue to summon, I will really be drained. Xie Ying, who was standing aside, saw that Chen Luo still had no intention of breaking through, and hurriedly said in a panic. When he agreed to surrender half a month ago, Chen Luo planted the demon seed in Xie Ying and completely subdued Xie Ying. However, after half a month of continuous summoning, Xie Ying's origin power dissipated a lot. Xie Ying didn't know if he could hold on. Chen Luo's absorption was really amazing. Xie Ying originally thought that Chen Luo only needed to absorb a little immortal power to break through. After all, it was just that Xia Ying had experience in the breakthrough from the 8th level of the Immortal King to the 9th level of the Immortal King, and he had an idea of the immortal power needed. However, the amount of immortal power absorbed by Chen Luo refreshed Xia Ying's cognition again and again. In the past half-month, the immortal power absorbed by Chen Luo was enough for several cultivators to reach the 9th level of the Immortal King from scratch. But these immortal powers still couldn't make Chen Luo break through from the 8th level to the 9th level, which really made Xia Ying completely confused. At the same time, it also left Xia Ying with deep shock and fear in his heart. If Chen Luo, who has such great potential, breaks through the Forbidden Realm in the future, how powerful he will be. Xia Ying couldn't imagine it at all. Perhaps, this new master has the potential to surpass the evil emperor. Xia Ying murmured in his heart. It's going to break through soon, no hurry. At this time, Chen Luo's indifferent voice sounded in Xia Ying's ears. Boom! After a while, a more terrifying breath burst out from Chen Luo's body. The majestic breath tore the entire world apart, causing the surrounding space to completely collapse, and the entire territory of the black and white Dao Palace was wrapped in endless terrifying breath. The original Dao fruit in Chen Luo's body transformed again, and the aura of the 9th heaven of the Immortal King emerged on Chen Luo's body. Finally broke through, the 9th heaven of the Immortal King. Chen Luo slowly opened his eyes full of joy. And, you are so bold, you dare to steal my power. At this moment, a deep and shocking voice sounded from the dark, reaching the ears of Chen Luo and Xia Ying. Chapter 629 Dharmakaya. No, the evil emperor has discovered it. It's over. It's all over now. Hearing this terrifying voice, Xia Ying's face changed drastically, his eyes were full of fear, and his body was shaking constantly. Evil Emperor, is it the fallen evil emperor of the evil spirit clan you mentioned? Chen Luo asked with a flash of surprise in his eyes. Just when absorbing this strange immortal power, Chen Luo had learned from Xia Ying that the immortal power he summoned belonged to the immortal power of the fallen evil emperor of their evil spirit clan. The fallen evil emperor is a top evil emperor of their evil spirit clan, and his status is equivalent to that of a quasi-immortal emperor. Yes, Master, it is the voice of the fallen evil emperor of our evil spirit clan. He is coming, I am dead. Xia Ying trembled in fear, his eyes full of panic. With the existence of the Boundary Sea, can the fallen evil emperor still enter the chiming immortal realm? Chen Luo raised his eyebrows and said in disbelief. The existence of the Boundary Sea is to restrict the strong from foreign lands from invading other realms. The higher the level, the stronger the restrictions, even the invincible strong of the quasi-immortal emperor is no exception. Moreover, the cultivation of the quasi-immortal emperor is already the top strong in the heavens, and accordingly, the restrictions of the Boundary Sea are extremely terrifying. It is impossible for the quasi-immortal emperor from foreign lands to enter the chiming immortal realm. Master, the fallen evil emperor has been infiltrating the chiming immortal realm for a long time. He can already use his power to condense the evil emperor Dharma body and enter this world. Xia Ying then explained to Chen Luo. Condense the Dharma body and enter the chiming immortal realm. Chen Luo's heart moved. He didn't expect that the fallen evil emperor had this method. The Dharma body is the same as other clone techniques, but the Dharma body is not like other clone techniques. It needs the consciousness of the main body to control. The Dharmakaya has independent consciousness and can make some decisions on its own. It is equivalent to another self, not its own clone. However, the strength of the Dharmakaya is not as strong as the original body, especially the forbidden strongmen in the quasi-immortal emperor realm, who are restricted by the heavenly way and cannot differentiate into a Dharmakaya with the same combat power. These Dharmakayas generally can only have 1/10 of the original body, or even less strength. If it is just a Dharmakaya, then maybe I can try it, Chen Luo thought in his heart. Just now, Chen Luo has broken through to the 9th heaven of the Immortal King, and truly stepped into the pinnacle of the Immortal King realm. Going up, it is the Forbidden Realm. Before breaking through the ninth heaven of the Immortal King, Chen Luo was extremely confident in his strength and could kill any Immortal King under the taboo. Now that he has broken through the ninth heaven, Chen Luo feels that even if he faces the Dharmakaya of the fallen evil emperor, it is not impossible. Boom! At this time, the surrounding space continued to distort, and the depths of the entire black and white Dao Palace seemed to be rendered by countless immortal powers, completely turning into an extremely evil black realm. Looking at the constantly twisting space and the increasingly deep realm around him, Chen Luo had no fear in his heart. He knew that the Dharma body of the fallen evil emperor was about to descend. Hua hua hua! After a while, the surrounding area turned completely black, and a tall figure with a vigorous aura twisted the space and appeared in front of Chen Luo. Human, you are really bold. Can you, a small fairy king ant, absorb my immortal power? The evil emperor's Dharma body looked at Chen Luo in front of him, his eyes full of indifference and coldness. Chapter 630 Face to Face. The evil emperor Dharmakaya stood like a god in the depths of the black and white Dao Palace. The surrounding space and time seemed to be completely solidified at this moment, completely becoming an eternal abyss. Thank you, your immortal power is very useful. Chen Luo smiled slightly, without any fear on his face. Although this evil Emperor Dharmakaya looked very powerful, Chen Luo had already broken through to the 9th level of the Immortal King and mastered the immortal power of Luo. He was not afraid of this so-called evil Emperor Dharmakaya at all. Human, you are looking for death. The fallen evil Emperor Dharmakaya saw that Chen Luo dared to provoke him like this, and a trace of anger appeared on his cold face. Hua wah wah! In a moment, hundreds of black tentacles containing terrifying immortal power were formed in the solidified black space around. These black tentacles carried an extremely terrifying aura, almost destroying everything, and shot towards Chen Luo's body at a rapid speed. Wherever the black tentacles went, they all turned into a void and chaos. Chen Luo did not make any unusual movements. The Mother Qi cauldron of all things above his head released infinite Mother Qi of all things, forming an extremely solid Mother Qi shield that could resist everything. U0027HUMAN, do you think that the power of this emperor is so easy to resist? You are so naive. U0027THE Dharma body of the fallen evil emperor looked at the Mother Qi shield of all things released by Chen Luo with a sarcastic look on his face. The fallen evil emperor was a forbidden strongman of the quasi-immortal emperor status. Although he only descended a Dharma body, in his opinion, even if it was his Dharma body attack, Chen Luo, a mere immortal king 9 heavens guy, could not resist it. Bang! After a while, countless black tentacles rushed to Chen Luo's side and stabbed fiercely. However, no matter how terrifying the black tentacles were, they still could not penetrate the shield formed by the seemingly ordinary Mother Qi of all things. Seeing the scene in front of him, the corners of the fallen evil emperor's mouth, which had just been raised, suddenly solidified and his eyes were full of disbelief. This ant of the 9th heaven of the immortal king actually resisted the impact of his immortal power. This is really the 9th heaven of the immortal king. Human, I admit that I underestimated you a little, but your journey ends here. The fallen evil emperor took a deep breath and said in a low voice. As he spoke, a black mark like the azura of hell appeared on the forehead of the fallen evil emperor. Boom! In an instant, the surrounding black space burst out with terrifying and unparalleled immortal power, which seemed to fill the entire world and surged away rapidly. The mother energy shield of all things around Chen Luo completely dissipated in an instant, as if it had never appeared. Only a faint inspiration and terrifying pressure surged around Chen Luo. Many people have said similar things to me, but unfortunately, they have become the past, and so have you. Chen Luo didn't care about the dissipated shield of the mother energy of all things around him, but raised his head and looked at the Dharma body of the fallen evil god with a calm look. The past, let this emperor become the past. The Lord of Infinity doesn't have this strength, so what about you? The fallen evil emperor sneered, and the black mark of Shura on his forehead burst out with an even more terrifying aura. Chen Luo didn't speak again, and his right hand dropped slightly. Shua. Then, a nearly decayed quasi-immortal emperor sword with black blood appeared in Chen Luo's right hand. Chapter 631 No End. Sword, how come you have this immortal sword? At this time, the fallen evil emperor seemed to have seen something extremely terrifying, and his face became extremely ugly. Even the surrounding black space seemed to be trembling slightly at this moment, as if fearing something. Endless immortal sword? Do you recognize this sword? Chen Luo asked with a hint of surprise in his eyes as he looked at the fallen evil emperor's body that suddenly changed his expression. This quasi-immortal emperor longsword was obtained by Chen Luo in exchange with Lingji ancestor and others using his immortal power in the eternal spiritual zone of the spiritual universe. Chen Luo didn't know the origin of this quasi-immortal emperor sword. However, now from the fallen evil emperor's mouth, this quasi-immortal emperor's longsword seems to have a rather mysterious origin, and is called the Endless Immortal Sword. How could you not recognize the immortal sword of the Endless Sword? It belongs to the immortal sword of the Endless End. Haha, why do I need to tell you? The fallen evil emperor spoke unconsciously, but soon realized something and said coldly, without saying anything more about the sword. It doesn't matter, I will use this sword to kill you, the evil emperor, immediately. Chen Luo didn't care at all and said indifferently. After saying that, Chen Luo held the long sword of the quasi-immortal emperor and charged straight towards the location of the fallen evil emperor's dharma body. In an instant, the endless terrifying sword intent formed like a rain of swords and meteors, exploding towards the fallen evil emperor in the black space. Just because you and this decayed immortal sword can kill the emperor's dharma body, you are still 1,000,000 years old. The fallen evil emperor's dharma body said coldly, and the evil emperor's immortal power on his body also formed an endless stream of light, exploding in the direction of Chen Luo. Boom boom boom! The forces of both sides collided together, erupting with an extremely terrifying impact. The swift and majestic impact splashed around, and the surrounding black space was suddenly completely shattered, and the entire area was completely turned into nothingness. The figures of both sides were intertwined, and in just a short moment, they had experienced hundreds of collisions. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. The space that was originally reduced to nothingness seemed to be completely annihilated. As expected of a strong man who has stepped into the forbidden realm of the quasi-immortal emperor. This defensive power alone is countless times stronger than that evil shadow. Chen Luo looked at the person in front of him who had experienced such a violent collision without much damage. The evil emperor's body had a rare look of solemnity on his face. Obviously, the body of the fallen evil emperor is the strongest enemy Chen Luo has faced since he came to this world. The fallen evil emperor's dharma body on the other side was even more shocked. Chen Luo's performance also shocked him. Although his dharma body only has a part of the strength of his true body, it is actually the dharma body of the quasi-immortal emperor. Logically speaking, any existence that has not reached the forbidden realm of the quasi-immortal emperor cannot withstand any of his aura, let alone said that it collided with him like this. Any immortal king would have died countless times, but Chen Luo fought and collided with him without losing any points. How could he not shock the evil emperor's dharma body? No wonder you can be recognized by the endless immortal sword. I admit that you do have some talent. In time, you will definitely be our clan's formidable enemy. But, unfortunately, now that you have met me, you have no future. The evil emperor's dharma body took a deep breath and said in a deep voice. Whoosh whoosh. After saying that, the evil emperor's dharma body raised his right hand slightly, and black immortal power emerged from behind the evil emperor's dharma body. In this annihilated space, black spots appeared one after another. Chapter 632, Wan Huan. These black spots seemed to carry the same power as the fallen evil emperor's Dharmakaya, and contained super strong power. Boom! In a moment, a large number of black spots around continued to release evil power. There seemed to be a very terrifying power slowly emerging inside. Not long after, a black sword stained with the breath of the endless evil emperor appeared from these black spots. In just a short moment, the entire area was filled with a large number of black swords. There were tens of thousands of black swords in this area. Moreover, the blades of these black swords had strange runes, which had the same terrifying aura and might as the evil emperor's Dharmakaya. This annihilated space seemed unable to withstand the aura of so many terrifying black swords, and experienced a deeper collapse. Human, you can't stay. It's your honor to die under my endless evil sword. The evil emperor's Dharmakaya not far away slowly spoke, and the voice was overwhelming, almost completely destroying everything around. The surrounding black swords were spinning at high speed, as if gathering terrifying power. Shua shua shua. As soon as the evil emperor's Dharma body finished speaking, countless black swords rushed towards Chen Luo. The terrifying impact seemed to exceed the limit of this area and destroy everything. Chen Luo looked at the densely packed black swords attacking him, and a bit of solemnity appeared on his face. As expected of the evil emperor who had entered the forbidden quasi-immortal emperor realm, just a Dharma body could mobilize so much terrifying power. This power was not something that ordinary immortal kings could resist. In that case, let's use that move. Although it is not perfect yet, it should be enough to deal with the scene in front of us. Chen Luo clenched the almost decayed Wushong immortal sword in his hand, and the power of the immortal king in his body kept running. Wan Huan Tong Shenshu. The power in Chen Luo's body was like endless light, surging around, filling every corner of this broken annihilation space, and the entire space stagnated in an instant. Even the thousands of black swords that were rushing towards Chen Luo were frozen at this moment, unable to move at all. Hua hua hua. After a while, countless phantoms of Chen Luo appeared in the endless space. These phantoms all held the endless immortal sword, and they contained endless terrifying auras. What kind of magical power is this? Why is it so terrifying? The evil emperor's body not far away looked at the densely packed phantoms of Chen Luo around him, feeling his scalp tingling and his body trembling constantly. Although these phantoms looked a little illusory, the evil emperor's body could feel that these phantoms had the same terrifying aura as Chen Luo's body, and even the endless immortal sword in the hands of these phantoms seemed to have the same power as the endless immortal sword. This discovery shocked and frightened the fallen evil emperor, and at the same time, there was an uncontrollable killing intent. It's just that the immortal king realm has such a powerful means. If he breaks through to the quasi-immortal emperor realm, it won't be like killing chickens to kill the same level, and another invincible strong man like the Lord of Infinity. Such an enemy must not be allowed to grow. This has nothing to do with you. Okay, it's time for you to get going. This time I killed your Dharma body, and next time, it will be your real body. Chen Luo slowly raised his head, his eyes full of cold murderous intent. Chapter 633, Destruction. As soon as Chen Luo finished speaking, countless phantoms of Chen Luo around him, along with Chen Luo's real body, raised the endless immortal sword in their hands. Countless sword beams that destroyed everything blasted towards the stunned and terrified evil Emperor Dharma body. Swish! With a tearing sound that shocked the universe, countless sword beams destroyed everything and blasted towards the evil Emperor Dharma body. The evil Emperor Dharma body was constantly trembling, with countless broken sword marks, as if it would collapse and split at any time. Human, I remember you, wait for me, this matter is not over. The evil Emperor Dharma body made a last sharp cry, and then the body completely collapsed and turned into nothingness. Yes, this magical power has the potential to become a quasi-immortal emperor magical power. Looking at the completely annihilated evil Emperor Dharma body, Chen Luo breathed a sigh of relief. This Wanhuan Tung Shenshu is a great magical power that Chen Luo created after watching the Beiwenlingshan of the Purple Illusion Ancestor in the Psychic Universe. After many times of comprehension and improvement, it has now been initially practiced and can be used. The effect is to burst out all of one's original power in an instant, forming countless phantoms, which have the same terrifying strength as Chen Luo. However, this magical power has not yet been completely formed, and there are considerable limitations. The phantom exists for a very short time, and it consumes a lot of energy. Just this moment of attack consumed most of Chen Luo's original power. However, Chen Luo was also quite satisfied. After all, it is only initially practiced now. After it is perfected in the future, there will definitely be a greater transformation. Hua wah wah. After the complete collapse of the evil emperor's body, a large number of evil shadows in the depths of the black and white palace are constantly dissipating. The area covered by endless dark clouds began to show a trace of light at this moment. The bright sunlight shone on Chen Luo's body, making Chen Luo feel a faint warmth, and his heart, which had just experienced a fierce battle, slowly calmed down. Master, Master, congratulations to you for killing the old man's Dharma body. You are unparalleled in the world and will surely reach the invincible realm in the future. At this time, Xia Ying flew to Chen Luo's side from a distance and said flatteringly. However, in Xia Ying's eyes, there was still deep fear and infinite awe of Chen Luo. That was the Dharma body of the evil emperor, the Dharma body of the forbidden supreme existence, and it was destroyed by Chen Luo just like that. It was really terrible. Moreover, he knew that Chen Luo had just broken through the ninth heaven of the immortal king not long ago, and there was still great potential to be tapped. If Chen Luo continued to break through and grow, how terrifying the future would be, Xia Ying could no longer imagine. Chen Luo glanced at Xia Ying lightly and said nothing more. After this battle, Chen Luo believed that this Xia Ying, who also had the potential of a quasi-immortal emperor, would not cause any more trouble if he had a little brain. Let's leave. Chen Luo continued to speak lightly. If Xia Ying hadn't provoked him, he would have left long ago. Now, after wasting so much time here and being forced to kill a quasi-immortal emperor's Dharma body, it was really beyond Chen Luo's own expectations. However, everything was worth it. This time, he broke through to the ninth level of the immortal king. Next, he only needs to concentrate on breaking through the forbidden realm of the quasi-immortal emperor above the ninth level of the immortal king. The situation in the chiming immortal realm is too chaotic now, and he must break through as soon as possible. Chen Luo believes that this day will not be too far away. Chapter 634 Destined. Yes, Master. Xia Ying said respectfully to Chen Luo. After saying that, Xia Ying spontaneously turned into a huge black dragon, crawling under Chen Luo's feet. Chen Luo stepped on Xia Ying's dragon's back with a calm expression, and under Xia Ying's leadership, he galloped towards the outside of the black and white Taoist palace. Chen Luo, Master, you are finally back, you scared me to death. As soon as Chen Luo left the black and white Dao palace, Xia Qingqing, Zhang Qingai, and Tantai Liulai immediately threw themselves into Chen Luo's arms, and their eyes were full of worry. The battle just now was too terrifying. The overwhelming wave and energy that almost destroyed everything made several people's hearts jump into their throats. Although they all had a lot of confidence in Chen Luo, facing a battle that was beyond their knowledge still made them very worried. The large number of black and white Dao Palace disciples and elders who had survived around them had already been scared away and completely left the area. For fear of being disturbed by the terrifying aura inside and losing his life. It's okay, it's just a small enemy, don't worry. Chen Luo comforted the girls, his eyes full of softness. Zhang Qingai and others did not speak, but hugged Chen Luo gently, as if the aura of Chen Luo could calm their hearts. Chen Luo stopped talking and felt this rare peace and warmth. Sir, is this guy the mutated evil spirit clan? After a quarter of an hour of tenderness, the women's thoughts slowly calmed down, and Xia Qingqing looked at the evil shadow dragon below. Yes, this is the mutated evil spirit, and I have subdued it. Chen Luo nodded. Xia Ying has met several mistresses. Ahem, it was Xia Ying who didn't know what to do and scared several mistresses. Please forgive me. Xia Ying saw that Zhang Qingai and others had turned their attention to him, and he quickly said flatteringly, with an extremely humble tone. Chen Luo's heart froze. It seemed that this evil figure was really frightened by him. In his current posture, he was not as arrogant as before. He looked like a loyal scoundrel. Master, you are so amazing. Zhang Qingai and the others said in shock, biting their lips. This was a mutated evil spirit from the evil spirit clan whose strength was close to that of the quasi-immortal emperor, and it was actually subdued by Chen Luo. What does this mean? Even the owner of the fallen evil emperor's dharma body can be destroyed. Isn't it a piece of cake to conquer me? Xia Ying whispered in his heart. As the battle came to an end, the surrounding black fog gradually dissipated. Everything in the black and white Taoist palace seems to be slowly returning to normal. However, after experiencing these many twists and turns, most areas of the black and white Dao palace have been completely turned into ruins. There is no longer the prosperity and bustle of the past, but only chaos and destruction. Devastation and ruins can be seen everywhere. After this incident, the black and white Taoist palace has been completely destroyed. Xia Qingqing looked at the black and white Taoist palace that was almost in ruins around her and said with a complicated expression. This is the top Taoist palace that has stood in the immortal world for countless years. It was destroyed like this, making Xia Qingqing feel like she was in a dream. Next to them, Tantai Liulai and Zhang Qingai also had complicated expressions. However, a few people didn't think much about it. The black and white Taoist palace deserved its punishment, and it was just itself to blame for all this. When they raised mutated evil spirits in their black and white Taoist palace, they were destined to end like this. Let's go back to Taku Immortal City. Everything here has nothing to do with us. Chen Luo then said to the women. Chapter 635, Reputation. Chen Luo came to the black and white palace to give Zhang Qingai justice. What happened here was also not in Chen Luo's consideration. Chen Luo didn't care about the destruction of the black and white palace. The black and white palace had already taken its own way to death, so let it be destroyed. Well, young master, let's leave. Zhang Qingai and others nodded in agreement. Then, Chen Luo, Zhang Qingai and others stood on the back of the evil dragon transformed by the evil shadow and rushed towards the location of the ancient fairy city. In the distant edge of the ruins, Xinyu Mozhun and others looked at Chen Luo who was leaving, their eyes full of deep fanatical longing. It was as if a seed was planted in their hearts. Not long after, the group seemed to have made some major decision and rushed towards the distance. The battle of the Black and White Palace ended, and soon attracted the attention of various forces. From the few words of the remaining disciples and elders of the Black and White Palace, many forces slowly pieced together the ins and outs of this incident. Everyone was shocked when they knew that the cause of the incident was actually caused by the unfairness of the spiritual road trial. In the eyes of their top forces, this matter was completely insignificant, but it actually caused such an ancient force to collapse. Even the palace master was killed, countless people were killed and injured, and countless years of accumulation were destroyed. It was really unexpected. The evil spirit and the terrifying aura that almost destroyed everything made countless people feel panic and fear. That was the mutant evil spirit that was about to step into the threshold of the quasi-immortal emperor. Although they didn't know about the fallen evil emperor's body. However, the terrifying destructive aura left from the scene still frightened many top immortal kings. The lord of the ancient immortal city is too strong. He was so angry for his beloved that he destroyed this top ancient force in one fell swoop. There will be no more Black and White Dao Palace in the chiming immortal realm in the future. Yes, he destroyed a top Taoist sect with his own strength. This strength is definitely the peak existence of the chiming immortal realm. Will the lord of the ancient immortal city reach that level in the future? No, that step is not so easy. No matter what, the pattern of the chiming immortal realm will change again in the future. The strength of the ancient immortal city is still underestimated. As the matter spread, all parts of the chiming immortal realm were discussing this matter. After all, the Black and White Dao Palace has existed for too long. Now it was destroyed by Chen Luo, who has just become famous, and it was his own strength. Because of this matter, the reputation of Chen Luo, the lord of the ancient immortal city, also resounded throughout the chiming immortal realm in the destruction of the black and white Dao Palace. More people recognized the strength of Chen Luo, the lord of the ancient immortal city. The spread of the news has caused another wave of people joining the ancient immortal city in the chiming immortal realm, and many top masters have begun to consider whether to join the ancient immortal city. After all, the situation in the immortal realm is getting more and more difficult now, and there are still many guarantees to join the top Xingling immortal realm. As time goes by, more and more places in the chiming immortal realm have the appearance of the corpse clan. The situation in the Xingling immortal realm has become increasingly bad, and with the invasion of countless evil clans in the Boundary Sea, a large number of Xingling immortal realm masters have been killed. At this time, the Xingling immortal realm is already in a slightly chaotic and bloody struggle. Xingling Emperor, bring the Xingling clan to our corpse clan. Our clan can protect you and give you a glimmer of hope. A bone-chilling voice sounded in the sky not far from Xingling City. Chapter 636 Corpse Demon. In the sky far above Xingling City, a large area of black evil energy was like a dark cloud, covering the sky of Xingling City. The black spiritual energy that was about to suppress and tear apart everything was constantly surging above, and Xingling City, the central city of Xingling Fairyland, was in an extremely terrifying sense of oppression. As the terrifying voice sounded, the large black evil energy like a dark cloud above seemed to turn into black divine light and burst towards the bottom. Buzz buzz buzz. The many defensive arrays around Xingling City were impacted and issued a sharp and piercing buzzing sound. Countless spiritual lights burst out with powerful power to resist the surrounding black divine light like a pillar of heaven. In Xingling City, Xingling Emperor stood above the palace of Xingling City, staring at the black divine light that was constantly impacting outside. Beside Xingling Emperor, many top elders of the Xingling clan stood beside Xingling Emperor, with worried expressions on their faces. Xuezingsheng was also beside him. At this time, Xuezingsheng was wearing a white long dress. Her eyes were no longer lively. Her delicate face was full of deep fatigue and seemed very haggard. Surrender? Surrender to you rubbish? Forget it, I'd rather die. Xingling Emperor said domineeringly. After saying that, Xingling Emperor raised his right hand lightly, and a force containing the power of the origin of the star spirit burst out from Xingling Emperor's body, rushing towards the huge dark cloud evil spirit in the sky outside. Boom! As a fierce roar sounded, the terrifying spiritual light containing the power of the origin of the star spirit blasted a gap in the dense black cloud. It seemed that there were rays of light shining from the gap, making this slightly dim Xingling City appear a long-lost light. Stubborn, you are already seriously injured, but you still have to hold on so hard. Sometimes, I really don't understand why you are so stupid. At this time, the dark clouds in the sky outside were pushed away layer by layer. A corpse immortal king with mysterious runes carved all over his body slowly walked out from the dark clouds. This corpse immortal king is the corpse demon immortal king of the corpse clan, the top immortal king of the 7th level of immortal king. Behind the corpse demon immortal king, there are a large number of corpse clans, with mysterious runes shining on their bodies, cold, and the terrifying aura is overwhelming the world. How can you beasts understand the faith and persistence of our Star Spirit clan? The Star Spirit Emperor said lightly, even in the face of extremely powerful threats, there is still no fear. Father. On the other side, Xuezingsheng looked at the domineering Star Spirit Emperor, and his heart was full of worry. Before, many corpse clans appeared in various areas, and the Star Spirit Immortal Realm, due to the shattering of the Nether Demon Realm, a lot of Nether Demon Chi remained. As a result, more top corpse clans appeared in the area of the Star Spirit Immortal Realm. The Star Spirit Emperor has killed the top Immortal King level corpse clans many times and has been seriously injured. This time, the Corpse Demon Immortal King led more corpse clan members to directly surround the Star Spirit City, intending to destroy the entire Star Spirit clan in one fell swoop. Forget it, it's a waste of time to talk to you idiots. Since you have chosen the path of certain death, don't blame me for being cruel. The corpse demon Immortal King outside the Star Spirit City had a cold face, and the corpse aura on his body continued to surge. As the corpse demon Immortal King spoke, he condensed a demon blade with monstrous demonic energy. Then, the demon blade in his hand, carrying an invincible force, slashed heavily towards the Star Spirit City below. Chapter 637 Belief. The black magic blade, carrying the power of invincibility, quickly blasted towards the Star Spirit City below. The space above the city continued to collapse, as if it was the end of the world, and everything was being destroyed. Swish! In a moment, the terrifying black magic blade easily smashed the extremely solid defense array, and countless spiritual lights burst out. Everyone in the Star Spirit City felt a sense of oppression and fear that penetrated deep into their bones. Without the protection of the defense array, the breath of many corpse tribes was like an overwhelming spiritual pressure, which made all the Star Spirit tribesmen below very frightened. Kill all these damn stinky Star Spirits! Seeing that the defense array below was easily destroyed by himself, the corpse demon Immortal King continued coldly. Hwa hwa hwa! The surrounding corpse tribes immediately launched a fierce attack on the Star Spirit tribe below. Fight back with all our strength! This may be our last battle. However, even if it is the last battle, we must let these corpse tribes taste the indelible pain. The faith of our Star Spirit tribe will never fade. Seeing this, the Star Spirit Emperor also commanded the Star Spirit tribes in his own Star Spirit Fairyland to counterattack fiercely. The fear in the hearts of many Star Spirit tribes was driven away by the passionate words of the Star Spirit Emperor. The vigorous fighting faith burned in their hearts and then rushed forward. As the situation became more and more chaotic, the forces in various places could only barely protect themselves and had no spare power to support other forces. In addition, since the Star Spirit Fairyland had been baptized by the Netherworld Demon Realm before, the number of corpse tribes here was larger and stronger. Other forces, even if they were willing, were powerless to fight against these top corpse tribes. After a while, many Star Spirit tribesmen and the corpse tribes that kept attacking from above started a fierce battle. The sound of collision, tearing, screaming, and roaring filled every corner of Xingling City. The entire Xingling City has almost become a meat-mincing Shura field. Looking at Xingling City, which has been caught in endless battles and bloodshed, Xingling Emperor felt a wave of grief in his heart. After many previous battles, his people have lost a lot and are completely unable to support long-term battles. A large number of Xingling people lost their lives in the battle. Especially in the city, Shuizingsheng, who was wearing a white dress and was a little tired, still insisted on fighting. Xingling Emperor felt heartbroken and wished he could take her place. However, Xingling Emperor knew that he was carrying too much now. He was not only a father, but also the emperor of the Xingling people. He also had his own enemies to face. After a moment of heartache, Xingling Emperor forced himself to suppress his emotions, slowly raised his head, and looked at the corpse demon fairy king with surging evil spirits in the sky. Shua shua shua. Then, without any hesitation, the Star Spirit Emperor took a last look at his daughter and rushed to the corpse demon Immortal King in the sky. Star Spirit Emperor, you said, you should just wait for death obediently, why do you come up so soon to die? The corpse demon Immortal King looked at the Star Spirit Emperor who was rushing towards him, his face full of disdain. The Star Spirit Emperor was only a 6th level Immortal King, and he was not his opponent in his prime, not to mention that he was seriously injured now. The two sides were not at the same level at all. Going to die, I will show you the power of our Star Spirit clan's faith. The Star Spirit Emperor's eyes were majestic and domineering, and the original power in his body was burning violently. Chapter 638 means. As the original power of the Star Spirit Emperor and Immortal King burned fiercely, The Star Spirit Emperor's originally slightly rickety body became firm and majestic at this moment, and it seemed that more terrifying power was condensed in the Star Spirit Emperor's body. The Xuezingsheng who was fighting fiercely below seemed to sense something. He killed the corpse clan in front of him with a sword. The Star Spirit Emperor looked up at the sky with a look of sorrow on his face. Father! Xuezingsheng bit her red lips, her body trembling slightly. However, Xuezingsheng quickly suppressed the worries in his heart, his eyes became firm, and he once again started a fierce battle with the surrounding corpse tribe. The other Star Spirit tribe members around them also felt something, and intense emotions arose in their hearts. The sharp blades in their hands seemed to become more terrifying, and their combat effectiveness suddenly increased a lot. Burning the source? That's right, this may be your only chance of survival. When the corpse demon Immortal King saw that the Star Spirit Emperor had actually burned the Immortal King's origin, his lazy eyes became much sharper, and the black magic blade that had dissipated in his hand condensed again. The origin of the Immortal King is the most essential power of the Immortal King, and the origin will generally not be burned until the last moment. And once it reaches the point of burning the Immortal King's origin, it will be the final and most sublime battle of this Immortal King. Boom! The Star Spirit Emperor didn't finish speaking. The burning of the Immortal King's origin made the Star Spirit Immortal King's power reach its peak again, and even became more terrifying. He immediately launched a fierce attack. The extremely powerful Immortal King's magical power is like a wave, rushing towards the corpse demon Immortal King one after another. The corpse demon Immortal King had a cold expression on his face, and he slashed continuously with the black magic blade in his hand. Countless black demonic and evil energies tore through the Star Spirit Immortal King's magical power. The collision between the two sides was extremely fierce, and a hole was torn open in the entire sky. Countless chaotic air currents continued to rage along the torn hole, washing away everything in Xingling City. It's interesting, that's what makes it interesting. If you understand it easily, it would be too boring. With the continuous slashes, the corpse demon Immortal King was temporarily pushed back to the edge of the sky, and the corners of his evil-filled mouth rose slightly. Boom! The Star Spirit Emperor still ignored the provocation of the corpse demon Immortal King and continued to attack, hoping to take advantage of the powerful strength obtained from this burning source to gain a glimmer of life from this inevitable situation. The corpse demon Immortal King also knew that such a crazy offensive like the Star Spirit Immortal King could not last long, so he simply did not confront him head-on and just fought and retreated. As long as the source is burned out, you can easily understand the Star Spirit Immortal King. Soon, after the aura of the Star Spirit Immortal King reached its peak, it began to slowly weaken, and the smile on the lips of the corpse demon Immortal King became stronger and stronger. Half an hour later, the aura of the Star Spirit Immortal King finally weakened to the point before, and it continued to weaken. Idiots are idiots. Is such a method useful? It's just aggravating your death. The corpse demon king sneered, and the corpse aura on his body continued to expand. Since you are done trying to be brave, let's send you on your way. Whoosh whoosh. The corpse demon Immortal King tilted his head, and the original power of the Immortal King in his body was continuously gathering towards the black magic blade. A terrifying aura emerged from the blade of the black magic blade. This terrifying aura almost tore apart the sky and completely annihilated the space. Ahem, do you think my methods will stop here? Corpse demon Immortal King, look around you, who is it time to take off? The Star Spirit Immortal King coughed up a mouthful of blood, and finally a smile appeared on his pale and weak face. The corpse demon Immortal King's face froze, and there was an unprecedented fear in his heart. Chapter 639, Magic Array. The corpse demon Immortal King suddenly raised his head and looked around. In the space that was almost completely destroyed, there appeared bright starlights at some point. These starlights flowed around the corpse demon Immortal King in a very strange layout, forming a powerful starlight array that exuded a majestic aura of destruction. The surrounding starlight array seemed to be reflecting the many stars in the sky and resonating constantly. As this resonance became more intense, the majestic aura of destruction emitted by the starlight array became more and more vigorous, making the corpse demon Immortal King feel fear deep in his bones. Is this your method? You actually arranged such a powerful origin array during the battle. The corpse demon Immortal King looked at the super starlight array that had already taken shape around him and aroused the power of heaven and earth. There was no more contempt on his face, but deep solemnity and admiration. He didn't expect that the star spirit Immortal King, who was at a lower level than him and was seriously injured, would have such courage and means. Although they belonged to different camps, the corpse demon Immortal King still felt that the guy in front of him was an opponent worthy of respect. That's right, it's the origin array. This is the supreme origin array of my star spirit clan. Now, I'll send you on your way. The star spirit emperor coughed out a mouthful of blood and then said in a low voice. After that, the star spirit emperor pushed the power of the supreme origin array to the limit, and the remaining origin power on his body surged wildly. Boom boom! With the blessing of the Star Spirit Emperor's own origin power, the Supreme Origin Array burst into an even more terrifying roar. The stars in the sky were also stimulated, and countless forces of heaven and earth, star power, like a storm, rushed towards the corpse demon Immortal King. All the members of the Star Spirit clan around were attracted by this terrifying aura. They knew that the final result would come at this moment. Well, I want to see if your Supreme Origin Formation can kill me. The corpse demon Immortal King looked at the Supreme Formation that was about to destroy everything around him, with an extremely crazy look on his face. He wanted to face this Supreme Origin Formation that contained a strong destructive aura. Then, the corpse demon Immortal King held the black magic blade in his hand, an endless source power flowed towards the black magic blade. As the endless source power of the corpse demon Immortal King poured in, the black magic blade showed a more terrifying and domineering power, and the rich black magic energy almost polluted the entire world. Boom! In a moment, the ultimate power of the surrounding Supreme Origin Formation finally took shape, and a series of star blades containing the ultimate destructive aura appeared in the sky. The destructive aura on these blades was extremely powerful, as if it had merged with the entire world. Shua shua shua! Then, many star blades cut through the sky and rushed towards the location of the corpse demon Immortal King. A large number of star blades tore through everything around them like a storm, and arrived at the corpse demon Immortal King's vicinity in a moment, madly tearing the black magic energy produced by his black magic blade. The black magic energy around the corpse demon Immortal King shrank madly under the impact of many star blades. Come, kill me! The corpse demon Immortal King's face was extremely ferocious, and he shouted at the top of his lungs. Chapter 640 Impact. The corpse demon Immortal King, holding the black magic blade, roared loudly. The black magic blade in his hand continuously produced black magic energy to resist the terrifying star blades around him. The collision of the extreme light and the black magic energy created an extremely powerful spiritual pressure, causing everything around to collapse continuously. As if it was the end of the world, the buildings of the Star Spirit City were all annihilated. Many members of the Star Spirit clan and the Corpse clan with low realms were completely deprived of their lives and turned into dust under this terrifying spiritual pressure. Hwa hwa hwa! Under the impact of the powerful star blade of the Supreme Origin Formation, the black magic energy around the corpse demon Immortal King became increasingly sparse. The terrifying armor on the corpse demon Immortal King was also shaking under the surge of powerful spiritual pressure, and then began to slowly collapse. Despite this, the corpse demon Immortal King was still fearless, with a determined and crazy look in his eyes. Crack! After a while, the armor around the corpse demon Immortal King completely shattered, and the body filled with mysterious Dao patterns trembled slightly. The mysterious Dao patterns on the corpse's body began to resist the powerful impact. However, the impact of the Supreme Origin Formation was too strong. Even if the mysterious Dao patterns contained very powerful power, it was still irresistible. In just 2 short breaths, the Dao patterns on the corpse demon Immortal King's body were completely wiped out. After the Dao patterns of the corpse demon Immortal King were wiped out, his body began to collapse. After a while, the flesh and blood on the corpse demon Immortal King were completely wiped out, leaving only a skeleton standing. Did it succeed? Star Spirit Emperor looked at the corpse demon Immortal King, who had become a skeleton in the distance, and felt nervous. Although this Supreme Origin formation was very powerful, the Star Spirit Emperor's injuries were too serious and he could not show his most terrifying power at all. If there was no way to solve it this time, he really had no other way. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. No, not yet, he's still alive. After a while, Xing Huang realized something and his face became slightly ugly. The skeleton of the corpse demon Immortal King still retained a trace of vitality, especially the black magic blade held by the skeleton, which made a crisp buzzing sound. As expected of the Immortal King of the Corpse Clan, he is indeed difficult to deal with. Feeling the vitality of the corpse demon Immortal King, Xing Huang's heart was full of fear. With such means, any Immortal King of the 7th Heaven would be completely wiped out, but the corpse demon Immortal King of the Corpse Clan endured it, which was really strong. Hua hua hua! At this moment, the black magic blade in the hands of the corpse demon Immortal King could not withstand the terrifying impact force, and completely collapsed and turned into annihilation, leaving only a skeleton of the corpse demon Immortal King with a little vitality and a knife handle. After destroying the black magic blade, the surrounding Supreme Origin formation also quickly dissipated, and the surroundings began to become calm. Everyone around stared at the skeleton of the corpse demon Immortal King. Cough cough, I survived, you failed to kill me, you are done, he he he. The skeleton of the corpse demon Immortal King made a low and hoarse voice. Waste, you are so embarrassed to deal with a low-level Immortal King, what use do I have for a waste like you? Before the corpse demon Immortal King finished speaking, a very arrogant voice came from a distance. Boom! Following it, there was also an extremely domineering demonic energy, which quickly shattered the skeleton of the corpse demon Immortal King into pieces and annihilated it in the air. Chapter 641 Protection. The bones of the corpse demon Immortal King were annihilated by the overbearing demonic energy and disappeared into the world. Dead, this corpse demon Immortal King is dead. When the Star Spirit Emperor saw the dead corpse demon Immortal King, there was no trace of joy on his face. Instead, he became extremely ugly. Because, a more difficult guy appeared, and he no longer had the energy to protect the Star Spirit clan. The other Star Spirit tribe members around them were also trembling, with fear in their hearts and despair in their hearts. Whoosh whoosh! After the bones were completely annihilated by the impact, the space not far away was distorted. A strong man from the Corpse Clan wearing a black robe and a double-horned helmet came to the sky above the ruins of the Star Spirit City. After this strong man from the Corpse Clan with a double-horned helmet appeared, the surrounding Corpse Clan members shouted crazily as if they had found a backbone. It's the corpse singing Immortal King. The corpse Ming Immortal King is here, these bastards from the Star Spirit Clan are doomed. He is the Immortal King of Corpse Ming that I admire the most. That's great, ha ha ha. The corpse screaming Immortal King is invincible. Many members of the Corpse Clan shouted loudly, looking at the Corpse Clan with the double-horned helmet with unusually fanatical eyes. It turns out that this newly emerged strong man from the Corpse Clan is none other than the Corpse Clan's Immortal King of Corpse Singing. The Immortal King of Corpse Ming is a well-known top general of the Corpse Clan. His strength has reached the peak of the Immortal King in the 8th heaven, and is infinitely close to the Immortal King in the 9th heaven. He has a very high status in the Corpse Clan. The Star Spirit Emperor looked at the sudden appearance of the Corpse Ming Immortal King and sighed in his heart. It seems that God wants to destroy our Star Spirit Clan. The Star Spirit Emperor looked at the Snow Star Dome below, with a hint of tenderness and sadness in his eyes. Star Spirit Emperor, your strength is pretty good, much stronger than that trash corpse demon. Are you willing to take his place and become my lieutenant? The corpse-ming immortal king looked at the Star Spirit Emperor in the distance, and then spoke calmly. Road. I refuse. The Star Spirit clan has never surrendered to anyone from the evil tribe outside the territory. The Star Spirit Emperor said firmly and firmly. Have the courage, I'm in a hurry, then, let's send you trash on the road now. Corpse-ming immortal king said calmly, the aura on his body rising rapidly. After saying that, the corpse-ming immortal king raised his right hand slightly, and a source of power that tore apart and suppressed everything surged out of the corpse-ming immortal king's body, and the surrounding space continued to boil. Boom! In just a moment, that force reached its peak, like the tide of heaven and earth, rushing towards the Star Spirit Emperor in front of him. The Star Spirit Emperor closed his eyes, with countless thoughts in his mind, but he still couldn't let go of his two daughters. It's all my father's fault, the Star Spirit Emperor murmured in his heart. The unparalleled terrifying inspiration surged towards the Star Spirit Emperor, almost tearing everything apart. Don't hurt my father. At this moment, a clear and firm voice sounded. A delicate girl with scarlet blood on her body and delicate features like an elf rushed in front of the Star Spirit Emperor and opened her arms, as if to shield the Star Spirit Emperor. Everything. Starry sky. Tears oozed from the corners of the Star Spirit Emperor's eyes, and a trace of unprecedented panic appeared on his solemn face. He stretched out his hand, wanting to use his last strength, wanting to protect the Snow Star Dome behind him, but he no longer had any strength. Father, you were the one who protected me before. Now, it's Xingsheng's turn to protect you. Chapter 642 Starry Sky. Xue Xingsheng's firm and soft voice rang in the ears of the Star Spirit Emperor. Looking at his daughter in front of him, the Star Spirit Emperor felt a little dazed. The past events with his daughter surged out of his mind like a tide, flowing through the mind of the Star Spirit Emperor. From Xue Xingsheng's babbling, to her later toddling, her first word father, every time she got into trouble, in the endless lonely and cold years of the Star Spirit clan, Xue Xingsheng was like a light that penetrated into the soul, nourishing the heart of the Star Spirit Emperor. Xue Xingsheng's voice, appearance, and smile, quirky, playful and cute, have long been deeply engraved into the soul of the Star Spirit Emperor. Okay, Xingsheng, father is tired, this time let you protect father. Looking at the girl in front of him, the Star Spirit Emperor smiled, and there was no hesitation or confusion in his heart. With such a daughter, I have no regrets in my life. You guys from the human race are just stupid. You are so weak, but you have to do such a moth-to-flame thing. The corpse-sounding immortal king looked at the pitifully weak Xue Xingsheng in front of him, muttered in a low voice, his eyes full of confusion. Xue Xingsheng is only a great emperor, not even a true immortal. In the eyes of the corpse-sounding immortal king, such a cultivation is even more ant-like than an ant, and there is no threat at all. It is really difficult for the corpse-sounding immortal king to understand that a cultivator of this realm has the courage to stand in front of him. Forget it, I am also a kind person. Seeing the deep love between you father and daughter, I will fulfill your wish and let you die together. The corpse-sounding immortal king shook his head gently, and then said lightly. Boom! After speaking, the power emitted by the corpse-sounding immortal king became even more terrifying, surging towards Xue Xingsheng and Xingling in front. The domineering original power tore everything apart crazily, and a large area of space collapsed, with a terrifying roar and tearing sound. However, Xue Xingsheng was fearless, still spreading his arms, and guarding in front of the Star Spirit Emperor with a firm look. Xue Xingsheng felt that his consciousness was becoming more and more blurred, as if everything about him was extinguished. Hua hua hua! Just when the surrounding original power was about to completely destroy Xue Xingsheng's body, a bright light emerged in Xue Xingsheng's heart. This light surged crazily around Xue Xingsheng, resisting the domineering original power around him. Hey, you, a little emperor, actually have a taboo power. It's interesting. It seems that you have a lot of secrets. I like to explore secrets the most. The corpse-sounding immortal king looked at Xue Xingsheng, whose heart was shining with a bright light, and murmured in his heart. He felt that there was a very powerful power belonging to the forbidden quasi-immortal emperor in Xue Xingsheng's heart. If I can absorb this power, maybe I can go further. Thinking of this, the eyes of the corpse king were filled with a fiery color. Unexpectedly, there was an unexpected gain here. You are worthy of plundering my power. At this time, Xue Xingsheng suddenly raised his head slowly, his eyes were cold, and a more powerful power emerged from his body. Xue Xingsheng's body was also slowly changing, his temperament and demeanor seemed to be slowly turning into another person. No, Xingsheng. Xingling Emperor looked at the changes in Xue Xingsheng and felt panic in his heart. He felt that his daughter was slowly moving away from him and seemed to never come back. Girl, I'm late. Chapter 643, Finally. Just as Xue Xingsheng's body and appearance were transforming in a strange direction, a familiar voice sounded. Then, a handsome young man who looked like a banished immortal appeared in front of Xue Xingsheng. Xue Xingsheng was embraced by the young man who suddenly appeared, and her delicate and sacred face was full of surprise. Who is it? Quick, let me go. Xue Xingsheng struggled in the young man's arms, her eyes full of shame and anger, and the power in her body continued to spurt out, as if to tear the entire space apart. However, the young man's hands were like giant pliers, firmly grasping Xue Xingsheng, making Xue Xingsheng completely unable to break free. Then, a trace of mysterious power emerged from the young man's body, flowing into Xue Xingsheng's body, frantically suppressing the mysterious power that erupted in Xue Xingsheng's heart. The Star Spirit Emperor behind Xue Xingsheng saw the sudden appearance of the figure, and a trace of joy appeared on his face, and then he immediately became extremely worried. Chen Luo, hurry up, Xingsheng is in your hands, take Xingsheng away. Xingling Emperor forced himself to rush in front of Chen Luo and Xue Xingsheng. Even though Xingling Emperor's body was covered with scars and became extremely weak, he was still like a mountain, standing in front of Chen Luo and Xue Xingsheng. Leave? Who do you think this general is? None of you can run away. The corpse-ming immortal king, who was not far away, raised a hint of mockery at the corner of his mouth and said coldly. The sudden change of Xue Xingsheng just now made the corpse-ming immortal king feel a little frightened and deeply feared. The appearance of Chen Luo resolved this fear, and also made the fear in the heart of the corpse-ming immortal king completely dissipate, and once again return to the invincible immortal king. Don't you understand the situation? Here, when is it your turn to speak? As soon as the corpse-ming immortal king finished speaking, an indifferent and cold voice sounded in the corpse-ming immortal king's ears. The corpse-sounding immortal king was stunned. It was the human boy who had just appeared. Looking at Chen Luo who was holding the snow star dome, a trace of fierceness flashed in the eyes of the corpse-sounding immortal king. How dare you talk to this general like this? This general has decided to let you taste the pain and despair of falling into the abyss forever. Boom! After that, endless terrifying aura flowed through the corpse-sounding immortal king's body, like a world-destroying monster, giving people a very strong sense of oppression. The terrifying origin power condensed into black claws, tearing everything around, and swiftly grabbed the area in front. The entire area was instantly wrapped by black claws, and the corpse-sounding immortal king's eyes were full of pleasure, as if he had seen the scene where Xingling Emperor and others were completely torn apart by his origin claws. Don't worry, my corpse sky claw will only tear your flesh, and I will keep your soul. The corpse-sounding immortal king licked his dry lips and said cruelly. Bang! At this time, a violent collision sounded from the endless black claws in front. The endless black claws were blasted into annihilation and turned into mist, and it seemed that an extremely terrifying aura appeared in it. Seeing the area blasted into endless black mist, the face of the corpse-sound immortal king suddenly froze, and an unprecedented fear rose in his heart. No way! Impossible! The corpse sound immortal king shuddered deeply. Chapter 644, Fist Destruction. At this moment, the corpse sound immortal king seemed to have returned to the scene when he had just entered the corpse clan and mastered the core power of the corpse clan, facing the top elders. At that time, the corpse sound immortal king was a genius with high spirits and arrogance. The corpse clan elders at that time just glanced at him lightly, and he felt the fear deep in his soul. That scene and feeling were like an eternal branded in the heart of the corpse sound immortal king. After that, the corpse sound immortal king swore that he would never have such fear again. He would tear apart everything that made him feel afraid. He did it. With his own means, he overcame all obstacles and became the famous corpse sound general of the corpse clan. The ancestors of the corpse clan all praised him and placed high hopes on him. But now, he felt this fear again, this kind of fear that was difficult to suppress, as if it was going to tear his soul apart. I will defeat everything. The corpse-sounding immortal king roared, and the power of the origin in his body was running wildly, and his breath was constantly rising. Hwa hwa hwa. At this time, a figure flew out from the area that had turned into mist. It was Chen Luo. At this time, Chen Luo held the snow star dome in one hand, and rushed towards the corpse-sounding immortal king rapidly. Chen Luo's eyes were filled with deep indifference, as if he wanted to freeze everything. Die, bluffing guy, do you think I will be afraid? Impossible, I am the corpse-sounding general. The fear in the heart of the corpse-sounding immortal king became deeper and deeper, but he still roared wildly, running the power in his body to the extreme. Boom! When the corpse-sounding immortal king was running his power with all his strength, Chen Luo, who was holding the snow star dome, condensed his right hand into a fist. The powerful Deluo immortal power condensed in Chen Luo's right fist and blasted it heavily. Seeing the fist with the power of Deluo immortal in front of him, the body of the corpse-crying immortal king froze. The fear made him completely lose the ability to think, and even the instinct to fight back was completely lost. No. A moment later, Chen Luo's fist had hit the body of the corpse-crying immortal king. The endless power of Deluo immortal penetrated the body of the corpse-crying immortal king, and these terrifying powers were running wildly in the body of the corpse-crying immortal king. The corpse-crying immortal king let out a sharp scream, as if his soul was trembling. Bang! Then, with a violent collision, the body and soul of the corpse-crying immortal king were blasted into debris by the endless power of Deluo immortal. Countless flesh, blood, origin, and spirit scattered in all directions. The death of the corpse-crying immortal king stunned all the corpse clan members present, looking at the scene in front of them in disbelief. That was their corpse clan's great general, the corpse-crying immortal king, just gone like that? The Star Spirit Emperor on the other side was also a little unresponsive at this time. Chen Luo's strength? Has it become so terrifying? How is it possible? Our invincible corpse-crying immortal king. No, corpse-crying immortal king. Damn it! Dare to kill our general? Our ancestors will not let you go. After a moment of dead silence, many members of the corpse clan around him roared, their eyes full of deep hatred, looking at Chen Luo as if they wanted to eat him. Boom boom boom! Chen Luo did not even raise his eyelids, and the immortal power of Deluo on his body surged around, madly slaughtering the remaining corpse clan members. Okay, you can let me go now. Chapter 645, Destruction. At this time, Xuezingsheng in Chen Luo's arms suddenly spoke, and the shame and anger in her eyes had completely disappeared. Instead, there was a deep noble indifference. Chen Luo did not let go of Xuezingsheng, but stared at the beautiful girl in his arms who was like an elf. Although Xuezingsheng's body had returned to its previous appearance, Chen Luo could feel that Xuezingsheng was no longer the well-behaved and lovely girl he knew. This is a strange soul. Return Xingsheng's body to Xingsheng. Chen Luo said lightly, and his calm eyes seemed to be able to penetrate everything and sense fate. However, there seemed to be some power in Xuezingsheng's body that isolated all this. Even if Chen Luo had the fate void body, he still could not sense the fate of this Xue Xingsheng. Hehe, what are you kidding, this is my body, what is there to return? Xue Xingsheng said with a smile. Seeing that Chen Luo would not let go of her, Xue Xingsheng simply clung to Chen Luo, looking at him provocatively. Are you sure you want to play like this? Chen Luo's eyes slowly turned cold, and the immortal power of Dao Luo slowly flowed in Chen Luo's body. The air was filled with an extremely dangerous breath, as if to destroy everything around. Then you can kill me, I can't beat you anyway. Xue Xingsheng was completely rotten, looking at Chen Luo without fear. Chen Luo frowned slightly when he saw Xue Xingsheng acting like this, and felt a little irritated in his heart. However, looking at this familiar face, Chen Luo still felt a little complicated in his heart. Hehe, you can't bear it, I can do what that little girl can do, and I can do it better than her, just treat me as her. Xue Xingsheng seemed to know what happened between Xue Xingsheng and Chen Luo before, and showed a playful smile. Boom! As soon as Xue Xingsheng said this, Chen Luo's face suddenly became extremely cold, and the Dao Luo immortal power around him instantly increased several times. Damn, are you really going to kill me? Xue Xingsheng's face turned pale. Immediately, Xue Xingsheng was instantly filled with the terrifying Dao Luo immortal power, lost consciousness and fainted in Chen Luo's arms. Senior Xingling Emperor, are you okay? After letting Xue Xingsheng faint temporarily, Chen Luo came to the side of Xingling Emperor. The other members of the corpse clan around were completely destroyed under the impact of Chen Luo's terrifying Dao Luo immortal power. The haze above Xingling city slowly dissipated, and a long-lost ray of warm sunshine appeared in the sky. No, I'm fine, Chen Luo, this time it's thanks to you again, otherwise our Xingling clan would really be finished this time. Xingling Emperor looked at Chen Luo in front of him and said gratefully. Last time, after the Netherworld Demon Realm descended, Chen Luo also played a significant role. This time is also the same, and the situation this time is even more critical than last time. Even the Star Spirit Emperor is in a desperate situation. Chen Luo then took out the top-level spiritual pill for cultivation and handed it to the Star Spirit Emperor, and at the same time used his own Dao Luo immortal power to help the Star Spirit Emperor recover his body. The other Star Spirit tribe members around him also breathed a sigh of relief because of the destruction of the corpse tribe, and slowly let go of their hearts, and began to slowly recover their bodies. Senior, do you know what happened to Xingsheng's body? Why did it become like this? After the Star Spirit Emperor recovered a lot of vitality, Chen Luo continued to ask slowly. Chapter 646 Life Story. Chen Luo, Xingsheng, is Xingsheng okay? Xingling Emperor did not answer Chen Luo's words, but asked with a worried look. Xingling Emperor had naturally noticed the changes in Xue Xingsheng just now. That strange and cold look made Xingling Emperor feel extremely distressed when he thought about it now. At this time, Xue Xingsheng was still unconscious in Chen Luo's arms, with a peaceful expression and a long breath. It seemed that there was no difference from before, and it seemed that she had recovered. Chen Luo then said slowly, "It's okay, Xingsheng just fainted temporarily, her soul is fine, and it is still dormant in her body, but now her body seems to be occupied by someone else." Just after knocking Xue Xingsheng unconscious, Chen Luo explored Xue Xingsheng's body. It was found that Xue Xingsheng still had her own soul in her body, but because her body was occupied by someone, her soul was dormant in the body and fell into a state of sleep. In other words, there are two souls in Xue Xingsheng's body, one is the original Xue Xingsheng, and the other is the extremely cold Xue Xingsheng just now. It's okay, is the body occupied by someone else? Xingling Emperor took a deep breath and murmured in his heart. The worry in his eyes also dissipated a lot, but there was still a lot of worry. Senior, do you know why Xingsheng's body is like this? Chen Luo asked. Xue Xingsheng was raised by Xingling Emperor since she was a child. Xingling Emperor must know something about her. Xingsheng's body, maybe, maybe it has something to do with her mother. Xingling Emperor was silent for a while, and then continued. Related to her mother. Chen Luo raised his eyebrows. He had never heard Xuezingsheng talk about her mother, and Xingling Emperor had never mentioned it before. Chen Luo thought that Xuezingsheng's mother was another member of the Xingling clan, but she had passed away before. Now it seems that it may not be simple. Thinking about the drop of terrifying blood in Xingsheng's heart, Xingsheng's life experience is definitely not simple. That terrifying blood was the blood of a quasi-immortal emperor above the immortal king. It was extremely powerful and far exceeded the average quasi-immortal emperor. Let's go to the palace and I'll tell you slowly. Xingling Huang hesitated for a moment, then slowly said. Chen Luo nodded, then carried Xuezingsheng and Xingling Huang into a palace deep in Xingling city. As for the mess outside, other Xingling clan members who had recovered some spiritual power were slowly cleaning up. In a slightly more complete palace deep in Xingling city. There were many spiritual plants in the palace, but because of the previous fierce battle, they had completely lost their vitality and became withered. Chen Luo and Xingling Huang sat opposite each other above the palace. Xuezingsheng had been placed in another room in the palace by Chen Luo, and was taken care of by Xingling clan members. In front of the two of them were a lot of delicious food and wine. Senior Xingling Emperor, what do you mean by Xingsheng's body being related to her mother? Chen Luo picked up a glass of spirit wine, took a sip, and asked directly. Xingling Emperor sighed, his eyes full of reminiscence, as if he was thinking about something. Xingsheng's mother, is not from the chiming immortal realm. Xingling Emperor pondered for a while, and then slowly said. Not from the chiming immortal realm. Chen Luo raised his eyebrows, and his heart was surprised. Chapter 647 The True Way. Although Chen Luo's strength has become extremely powerful and he can be invincible in the chiming immortal realm. However, Chen Luo has not left the chiming immortal realm. Except for those outside the domain, he has not come into contact with other people outside the chiming immortal realm. As for the world outside the chiming immortal realm, Chen Luo only knows those evil races outside the domain that belong to the Black Source world. The Black Source world is also a big world relatively close to the chiming immortal realm. Chen Luo raised his eyebrows and asked slowly, could it be that Xingsheng's mother came from the Black Source world? The Black Source world, like the chiming immortal realm, is a vast and boundless world with countless creatures. The Black Source world is not full of cruel and bloodthirsty evil races. There are also some creatures who do not like to fight and have kind hearts. They may be rare, but they definitely exist. If Xingsheng's mother came from the outside world, it is very likely that she is from the Black Source world. The Star Spirit Emperor shook his head and then slowly said, no, Xingsheng's mother is not from the Black Source world, but from the True Dao world, which is a world of cultivating true power. The True Dao world, a world of cultivating true power. Chen Luo raised his eyebrows. He had never heard of the True Dao world, nor did he know what true power was. Yes, the True Dao world, their true power is the same as the spiritual power of our Qiming world and the Black Source world. It is also a kind of cosmic spiritual power. However, this true power is very mysterious. Everyone in their True Dao world will have a True Dao mark in their body when they are born. Cultivating true power can strengthen the True Dao mark in the body and improve their own strength at the same time. The Star Spirit Emperor then slowly explained, and his eyes seemed to be recalling something. True power. Chen Luo's heart moved, and he remembered the spiritual energy universe he entered in the Dao Sect's secret realm. The spiritual energy of that spiritual energy universe is a cosmic spiritual power similar to spiritual power but different from spiritual power, and belongs to a completely different cultivation system from spiritual power. It seems that this True Dao world is also a world with a brand new cultivation system. However, Chen Luo was not surprised. The world is so big that there are all kinds of things. It is already quite mysterious that he came to this world, and it is not surprising that there are other worlds with brand new systems. There was a flash of disappointment in the eyes of Xingling Huang, and he continued, I heard from Xing Qiang's mother that their world is different from ours. Their world does not have many sects like ours. They are an imperial system, and there is only one empire. The powerful True Dao Empire governs the entire True Dao world. Because of the extremely terrifying concentration of power resources, the True Dao Empire is the supreme existence in the True Dao world, and its strength is also quite terrifying. With a large amount of concentrated resources, their True Dao Empire has more than 10 super strong people comparable to the forbidden quasi-immortal emperor realm of our Qiming world. Hearing the words of Xingling Huang, Chen Luo was shocked. More than 10 super strong people comparable to the quasi-immortal emperor, this True Dao world is so powerful. The quasi-immortal emperor is a truly invincible existence in the Qiming immortal realm, and is a truly terrifying strong man who can suppress the world. In the countless years of the entire Qiming immortal realm, only a handful of quasi-immortal emperors were born. Now there is only one super strong quasi-immortal emperor stationed in the Sea of Realm, resisting many foreign evil tribes. Chapter 648 Blood Species. A terrifying super-powerful person at the quasi-immortal emperor level can resist so many foreign evil tribes in the Boundary Sea. More than 10 quasi-immortal emperors would be an even more powerful force, unimaginably exaggerated. If there were 10 quasi-immortal emperors in the Qiming world, it would be possible to even flatten the entire Black Source world. Yes, the strength of their True Dao world is indeed amazing. Xingling Huang nodded and continued, and Xing Qiang's mother is the princess of the True Dao Empire, and has the blood of the True Dao Empire. The princess of the empire has the blood of the True Dao Empire. Chen Luo narrowed his eyes slightly, and felt as if he had touched the truth faintly, and asked hurriedly, could it be that Xing Qiang's body is related to the blood of the True Dao Empire? Yes, the blood of the True Dao Empire is a very precious existence in the True Dao world. These bloods of the True Dao Empire's lords enjoy countless resources of the True Dao Empire, but they are also the blood of those superpowers. After the death of those superpowers comparable to the quasi-immortal emperor, they will use these bloods to revive again, so as to achieve the realm of immortality. This is also one of the reasons why they can give birth to so many superpowers. Xingling Huang's eyes were both sad and confused. Not everyone can become a blood species. Only when the blood concentration of the True Dao dynasty reaches a certain level of strength can one be qualified to become a blood species. At the beginning, I had clearly checked that Xingsheng's imperial blood was very weak, and it was impossible to become a blood species. Xingling Emperor clenched his fists, and his nails had already embedded in his palms without knowing it. So, a super strong man comparable to the quasi-immortal emperor of the True Dao dynasty fell, and he needed to occupy Xingsheng's body. Chen Luo understood the problem, and a trace of extreme coldness flashed in his eyes. Is there any way to reverse it? Chen Luo continued to ask. Xingling Emperor smiled bitterly, revealing a look of despair. No. No, after being selected as a blood species, there is no way back. Her original consciousness will slowly dissipate, and finally be completely replaced by that super strong man. When Xingling Emperor knew the existence of this thing, he also investigated it carefully. After all, his daughter also has the blood of the True Dao Empire dynasty. There is no turning back. Chen Luo's eyes were filled with more and more coldness, and there was anger gathering in his heart. Xue Xingsheng was his woman, and Chen Luo had already regarded her as a very important existence. Now her body was about to be occupied by others, and he had no other way. How could he not make Chen Luo angry? The Star Spirit Emperor next to him was silent, clenching his fists, and the veins on his palms were bulging. How could he not be angry? That was a super strong man comparable to the quasi-immortal emperor realm. Although he was quite powerful and had a very high status in the Qiming immortal realm. However, compared with the strong men in the quasi-immortal emperor realm, it was simply a gnat trying to shake a tree, and there was no comparison at all. Moreover, he was a quasi-immortal emperor of the true Dao dynasty. I don't believe there is no turning back. If there is no way, then I will open a way. Chen Luo took a deep breath, and his eyes became firm again. Chen Luo had come through so many difficulties, obstacles, and storms before, and now he has the realm of the ninth heaven of the immortal king, and his strength is even stronger than this. Chen Luo didn't think there was anything that couldn't be solved. I'll go find that guy, I'll definitely get Xingsheng back. Chapter 649, The Evil Suppressor. Chen Luo left a message, then left the palace and headed for the location of the Snow Star Dome. Chen Luo, the Star Dome is in your hands. The Star Spirit Emperor looked at Chen Luo who was leaving, and a glimmer of hope ignited in his eyes. Now he had no means, and could only hope that Chen Luo could find a new way out for the Snow Star Dome. The edge of the Black and White Palace. At this time, the Black and White Palace had completely turned into ruins. With the scattering of many terrifying auras, many cultivators were looking for various treasures in the ruins here. After all, the Black and White Palace was a superpower that had stood in the Qiming immortal realm for countless years. Even if he could get some of the Black and White Palace's background, it would be an unimaginable opportunity. However, the previous battle seemed too fierce, and it seemed to have completely destroyed all the inspiration. However, despite this, there are still many cultivators who are looking for it tirelessly. Get out, Zhehe Zhenxia envoy is investigating the case, get out of here if you don't want to die. Just when many monks were looking for the possible scattered foundation here, a cold and majestic voice sounded. This voice was like a wave, sweeping towards the ruins where the Black and White Taoist palace was located. It made many monks in the ruins feel scalp numb and their bodies tremble slightly. Many monks looked towards the source of the sound and immediately saw a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe. The middle-aged man's Taoist robe was embroidered with very mysterious Taoist patterns, which seemed to contain very terrifying Taoist power. Behind the man, there were many monks in black iron armor. These monks in black iron armor were full of monstrous murderous intent. Although there were only a dozen of them, the aura they exuded almost overwhelmed the entire sky. It filled this sunny sky with endless haze. It's the evil suppressor. How did the evil suppressor from the Sea of Boundary come here? My God, no wonder it's so scary. That aura makes people tremble at a glance. The evil suppressor from the Sea of Boundary is indeed powerful. That's right. Those who can become the evil suppressor have made outstanding contributions in the Sea of Boundary and killed many super strong men from the evil tribe outside the domain. I remember that I seem to have seen that evil suppressor. He was a student of the Black and White Taoist Palace. The Black and White Taoist Palace has a deep foundation. I didn't expect that there is a super strong man who became the evil suppressor. Looking at the evil suppressor and many strong men who suddenly appeared, everyone talked about it, looking at them with deep fanaticism and awe. The evil suppressor is an outstanding strong man who can be promoted in the Sea of Boundary after killing many strong men from the evil tribe outside the domain. This title is not only a reflection of their honor, but also a symbol of their strength. Sure enough, that mutant evil spirit is not far from the quasi-immortal emperor. Zhu Jing led many Sea of Boundary guardians across the periphery of the Black and White Taoist Palace and directly arrived at its central area. At this time, the central area of the Black and White Taoist Palace had become a void, chaos, dead silence, and emptiness because of the previous super war. There was no sense of any existence at all. It seemed that everything here was completely annihilated by the super strong power. There was still a strong tearing aura here, as if it was going to destroy everything close to it. However, Zhu Jing's Taoist robe completely isolated these tearing auras, and he stood here calmly, feeling the remaining aura. Chen Luo, the lord of the ancient fairy city, is interesting. Chapter 650 Resurrection. Zhu Jing opened his right hand gently, and a wisp of qi was gently held in his hand. On the way to the Black and White Palace, Zhu Jing had heard some rumors. It was Chen Luo, the lord of the ancient fairy city, who subdued the mutant evil spirit of the Black and White Palace and enslaved him. Feeling the terrifying aura on the Qi, Zhu Jing narrowed his eyes slightly, and felt a little dreadful in his heart, but he was soon suppressed. Lord, the evil suppressing envoy, the soul-restoring mirror has been taken. At this time, the guardian not far away brought an ancient mirror and handed it to Zhu Jing. Zhu Jing took the soul-restoring mirror and slowly injected spiritual power. After receiving Zhu Jing's spiritual power injection, waves of ripples appeared on the mirror of this ancient mirror, and dots of light were constantly condensing. With the continuous injection of Zhu Jing's spiritual power, the ripples and light on the mirror became more and more intense, as if they were about to condense into substance. Then, the ancient mirror began to tremble, and a picture slowly appeared on it. Faintly, one could still hear extremely sharp collision and tearing sounds coming from the picture. However, the picture on the mirror seemed to be obscured by an inexplicable force. Even if Zhu Jing used the top pupil technique, he still could not see the picture on it. Only some sharp sounds could be heard. Sure enough, it was the guy who stole the power of destiny. Zhu Jing raised his eyebrows, and a trace of mockery flashed in his eyes. Fortunately, I was prepared. Then, Zhu Jing took out an ancient and vicissitudes of life talisman with mysterious Taoist patterns and pasted it on the back of the ancient mirror. Under the effect of the mysterious talisman, the fulling mirror seemed to be blessed by a powerful force, and quickly stabilized the trembling mirror body. At the same time, the inexplicable force that obscured the picture was slowly disappearing, and some outlines and clear pictures slowly emerged. The stolen power is not yours after all, and now it's exposed. Seeing that the fulling mirror began to slowly emerge, the sarcasm on Zhu Jing's face became more and more intense. Crack! However, just as Zhu Jing finished speaking, cracks suddenly appeared on the surface of the ancient and stable fulling mirror, which slowly emerged with images. Seeing the sudden cracks, Zhu Jing's eyes widened. How is it possible? This is the fulling realm, a fulling realm comparable to the best fairy king weapon. How is it possible? The other guardians around also frowned, their eyes full of astonishment. This fulling mirror is a treasure unique to their Sea of Worlds. It can trace back to the past and has a very strong offensive power, comparable to the best fairy king weapon. Moreover, because it is also blessed with taboo power, its value and power far exceeds that of ordinary best fairy king weapons. Bang! In a moment, the crack continued to expand, and it completely collapsed in an instant. The entire fulling mirror's mirror surface was shattered, revealing the flat mirror body emitting brilliant light inside. Sword, how do you have this endless immortal sword? When the mirror was completely shattered, a frightened voice came from the mirror. After the voice came out, the talisman on the back of the mirror also shattered, and the light of the entire mirror instantly became extremely dim. Endless immortal sword, the one that the soul resurrection mirror just recalled was the endless immortal sword, so Chen Luo has the endless immortal sword in his hand. After hearing the last sentence of the soul resurrection mirror, Zhu Jing's eyes showed a burst of astonishment and a trace of heat. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audio Wave to stay updated with our latest stories. And never miss out on a great listen.